UN Space Sail Wolf Squadron. It's your Wolf Commander Wolf 10. I'm your werewolf. And today, I got a message for all you guys. From the ones who are in our panel here. I'll be introducing him pretty soon. But I got a message for the ones in the chat too, and I got a message for those who are willing to watch this in the back watch or who give it a listen to in the background for whatever. The message is stop apologizing. And I'm not talking about some just apologize like oops sorry. I'm talking about you have an apology for everything that you do that people seem to think that you did wrong. Things that you do that apparently offend other people. Things that things that you are comfortable being that people hate. Anything from your religion, from your politics, from your choice in art design, your fashion design, your taste in music, your taste in movies or even books, whatever entertains you. Stop apologizing. Own up to that shit at this point, because an apology is supposed to be something that you issue out when you did something wrong, either emotionally, physically, accidentally. You apologize to whom you did wrong, not some stranger who thinks you did wrong, who assumed you did wrong. We're going to be talking about that. How today I'm really going to break that habit myself. You recently have been noticing that about me for the longest time since the previous streams I've made, that I'm no longer going to be apologizing for the shit that I do unless it really hurts those who I'm close to. The wolf has no more patience anymore with this bullshit. And I do mean bullshit. It's bullshit that we have to see these celebrities, these so-called stern celebrities, just going out of their way to make a public apology via their Skype call or their webcams or whatever. Especially in workplace scenarios as well, that you have to issue out a public apology for some individual that see you as a bad guy anyways, that hate you anyways, that actually bullies you into it, that cause other people to bully you into it. I'm sorry. No more. No more. I will be introducing him pretty soon, everybody. You know what? I might as well do that. I have with me today the Maverick Hunter Saint, Brian Gilmartin.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is me, Brian Gilmartin, and I just want to say I agree with everything that Wolf Commander just said here. And yeah, we really do need to, take our balls out of our purse, so to speak, and just, stop apologizing to all these people that just want us to grovel rather than just actually apologize for something we did wrong.
Mm-hmm. Coming at you from Occupied Balmora, Imperial Space. He is the man, the myth, the FN, and the number, the Trooper FN 2525.
Hello, how is everybody? It's Trooper FN 2525. It's going to be a fun stream, I think. It's going to be a good constructive way to kind of get our points across. I think one of the main things that we need to more or less keep in mind is that in order to win an argument, you need to know the facts, you need to have a solid position, and to know that when someone questions your beliefs, that you actually have a retort and also a way to go ahead and get your point across. You never want to win the argument with that person that you're speaking to. It's always going to be the person who's actually listening in. That third ear is who you want to more or less convince. Hey, maybe this person actually has a valid point. So yeah, let's get started.
That man has a way with words. That man has a way with words. And over here in my corner, giggling in the background, who has decided to join us after picking up her package on the side. I'm not going to say who it is for the sake of incognito. Is the lovely Lady of Valor, Lay Plus Size. Leia Plus Size, I mean. You might have to change that one. Lady
Yeah.
plus size.
Lady. It's okay. Anyway, it doesn't sound bad anyway it goes.
Mhm.
Hello, everyone. This is Leah Plus Size, your lovely Leah Valor. I'm very happy to be with you today. Yes, I had some deliveries at my door, and there were quite a few. So sorry I'm a little late getting here, but I couldn't leave them there.
A lady is never late. She arrives exactly as she is needed. That goes for everybody here who thinks they're late.
Thank you, Commander. And I am looking forward to this show. We are going to, as usual, we're going to have fun, but we're going to have a very interesting topic. So I'm very interested in hearing everyone's comments out there in the forum there, and from all of my fellow wingmans here. And Brian, happy to have him back too.
Yep, glad to be here.
So one thing I would like to
wing people.
wing people. Oh yeah,
Oh,
right.
wing people. I can't say
that?
wing. Oh, I said wing people. I thought I said wing.
You said wing men, and I said wing people.
Oh,
He's joking, Leia. You fell for
I
the joke.
know. I
Took it
know.
too
I get it.
serious.
No, I didn't take it. I got it. I was about to say, oh yeah, right. I can't pronouns.
Right. Yeah,
I can't say wingmen or fellas. Pronouns.
Pronouns.
Yes. I got it.
We are a society of people. We're not individuals.
Yes.
What country you
We
come
live in a
from?
society.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
So I don't know how I'm gonna do this. It's probably gonna be a quick stream, maybe a short stream, maybe a fun stream. We could talk about a lot of things. Definitely want give a little spiel about John Cena himself, which was
Good way to
interesting.
start.
You can't see me.
Oh yeah, we can now, motherfucker. You got your pants tucked underneath your ass. China got you right with your ass exposed, and you showed your ass right there on online. Yeah. See, this is why I am consistent with my favorite wrestlers. Undertaker has always been my favorite wrestler. Never John Cena.
Yep.
So yeah, buddy, you may be the new and hip and cool dude, but I will stick with the old, sir.
He wants to be the new Dwayne Johnson of Hollywood. That's what he's trying to accomplish.
Oh, that's fun.
I think that's what he's trying.
Bring your lunch, kid. That's an all-day job.
I just saw a CGI Vin Diesel tackle his ass in a trailer.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why I said it.
Before we
That's
start, one question. First of all, Wolf, that's a great way to get started in this about apologies. That's a good one. Any of you guys planning to see the movie? I'm just curious.
Nope.
Which one?
F9,
That's,
Fast and Furious 9, more to come.
Oh no, I would never watch that stuff. I mean, that's more or less
Nope.
it curates to the sports crowd, if you will. Like
Okay.
those dudes that all they do is talk stats all day, but when it comes down to current events, it can't tell you anything that's going on.
I was just
No.
curious, but continue, Commander. I was just now. I will go ahead.
Yeah. I'm not watching that. I'm not watching that. I've pretty much stayed my stance on not watching it after Paul Walker had passed. Rest his soul.
Right.
The last movie was the
Right.
last movie that basically honored him with his brother playing as his double with the CGI makeup. So that's I'm still hurting inside about that.
Me
Oh, that was
too.
pretty weird. Yeah, the way I know they have to kind of wrap that up, but that kind of ended up happening even with the Queen of the Damned. I mean, that was kind of weird, but I mean,
Mhm.
those are
Oh, yeah.
few instances where it's like, oh,
So many movies had to continue because even though the actor had passed, like even Gladiator with Prothimo actor had passed, and they digitally added him in, which was really nice blend. Same thing with Brandon Lee with Eric
Brandon Lee.
Draven.
Right.
Yep.
And the Crow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
looking back, you can obviously you can see it. You can see at the end fight, you can really see that he has a digital face. Even it really shows when Sherry was looking for him in the Draven apartment, and of course you get that reveal
Yeah.
where he pops in, but you don't see his face.
Right. You can
That's what
tell.
I was telling Owen that, like, he said that he died when they did the scene where Fun Boy shoots him in, or at least T-Dog shoots him in the chest. I was like, no, it was a shootout scene where he when he was doing all that shooting. I don't think that it would have been the point blank. Granted, I looked back at it and I was like, you know what? Blanks do tend to kill at close range, if not properly handled. So maybe that's probably what happened.
That's what I think happened. The stunt person, prop person, didn't do his job. I think they were supposed to double check the prop gun that was supposed to go off, and there was something about a miss. I can't describe it quickly, but there was a misfire, and the prop person did not double check the prop before it was supposed to be used. Now I don't know how close Brandon was. I don't know who the choreographer was or whoever. Somebody that day did not do what they were supposed to do. Even if Brandon was that close, even if I'm the choreographer person, I say, Mr. Lee, you got to step back a little bit. That's too dangerous for you. You know,
yeah. Like I said, my speculation was at the shootout scene where he meets Dollar Bill at. And I thought that's where it got too crazy. One of the cases might have hit him while he was doing the shootout scene. But like how would they would have been able to do the window scene? If is all I'm asking, because they throw him out the window after they shoot him.
Unless he was digitally moved, or in movie you shoot in reverse order. So maybe perhaps that scene. Now I'm getting the scenes mixed up. I thought it was the scene where they come into the apartment and one of them shoots him in a flashback. He went in the film. He's having a flashback to what happened in that apartment, and the guy comes in, and one of them, I forgot who it was. It was Fun Boy. One of them, I think it was Fun Boy, the actor that played Fun Boy, because the actor who played him really was distraught over it and shot him. And now it could be that they got those shots before they shot that particular scene, but whatever it was, they said that. Yeah,
it's a question of what got out for that. What was able to get out first,
right?
And what was able to get the rest in with the digital stuff. So that was a little bit of side conversation there. Let's get back onto the topic at hand.
Yeah, because it's a good way to get started.
Yeah, what triggered this is I still remember the video of Jenna Marbles apologizing for something that she didn't really do, and I'm not faulting her for this one. I actually pity her because I don't know if her YouTube channel is still up there or if her videos are still in there, but that should never have happened to her, considering what her content is. She's wholesome, she's funny, she's bubbly, and that was sad that she had to apologize for a certain video. I'm like, and I look and I remember the video, right? I'm like, but that wasn't blackface, that was tan.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like, why is it? It's like anytime you get color on your face, now suddenly everybody thinks you're doing blackface, which is just nonsense. People do get tans,
And there's a reason why people tan, because they like the tone of their skin tone. It's a fashion trend. It's a dangerous fashion trend, mind you. Very dangerous if you're not too careful. That too. That's what I mean, dangerous. After overexposure, after a while, I mean, we already exposed ourselves to radiation from the sun, but still.
Which reminds me, I've actually had some moles removed, which I think was brought on by the sun because I got very fair skin.
You might want to keep that to yourself, Brian.
Yeah.
Kidding.
I mean, you could tell from our voices. I mean, come on.
Well, I was also going to say that I've actually got some scars on my back from that. I used to joke about it that by the time I hit 50, I'll be like Heath Ledger's Joker. Why so serious?
Do you want to see how I got these scars? What you gonna say, Jenna? Leia?
Wow. As in Jameson, because I'm down.
Look, I'm on energy drink, and I'm born on getting hungry, but I can soldier on through this whole stream. Cut me some slack.
Okay, we'll forgive you. we'll
Energy drink high.
We'll forgive you that there's just the energy drink is causing the little slips. So you're
Yeah.
forgiven. Yes, you're forgiven. The person you talk about, I'm not familiar with, but when you started off with John Cena, I thought it was a good way to get started with John Cena's apology to China, which didn't help much because when he did that, I understand that the box office rates dropped a little bit in China or something like that. Or he apologized for something that I'm still trying to figure out what he did wrong. I
can tell you in like a hot minute.
I can tell you.
Let Trooper do this one.
Right around when Mao more or less came into power, the existing government of China, more or less, what was left of it, managed to make its way to Taiwan. Now, fast forward to today, we have more or less what we call the One China policy, which is what the Chinese Communist Party considers to be all Asian countries within the what's the best way to put
Prefecture.
it? Within the map, if you will, like in the map of East Asia. They want to consider it as one people. Okay, so I mean, yeah, cool, whatever. But the one the One China policy, more or less, we're all one people, if you will. Which sounds great on paper, but that's not how this type of stuff works. So for the longest time, in terms of what our geopolitical stance has been, is to have dealings with Taiwan, but not recognize them as their own independent country because it tends to infuriate a certain global power that's literally right across the South China Sea. So that's what that was about. Is Cena managed to somehow work Taiwan in there as its own independent nation, and that kind of infuriated the
call Taiwan a country.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing about that is that's not what nothing wrong against the civilian population in China. I mean, person on the ground is not going to care either way. They're gonna go see the film or not. But the consensus is, okay, well, we pretty much control the box office. You have this actor speaking out of turn. We may not want to show your film, or we may discourage people to, more or less not go see it. So basically, it's taken a tumble because of a political faux pas. Which technically, to be perfectly honest, Taiwan is its own country. I mean, when you go to Taiwan, you get a stamp from Taiwan. You don't get a Chinese stamp. When you go into places like Hong Kong, prior to Hong Kong, being turned over to the Chinese government back when it was still protectorate of Britain, it was its own entity. You did have your own Chinese stamp on your passport. The two societies, one nation thing only lasted so far. I mean, you saw where it went geopolitically, you saw where it was going. And notice how right at the heels of that, suddenly we ended up in a pandemic. So, I mean, take that for what it is. But he basically called Taiwan a country. And you don't want to do that when literally you're courting the biggest box office to more or less fund your corporation, if you will, because that's pretty much what keeps these big mega corporations like Disney, Time Warner, which is now going to be I think it's going to be Discovery Communications. I mean, that's
something
these
like that.
big entities going. So
Brian, did you want to add anything to what Trooper said?
I think Trooper summed it up pretty well. Then, John Cena basically said Taiwan was a country. People got upset about it, and it made him apologize.
And made a clown out of himself by trying to do it in
yes.
I hazard to say,
gosh, dude, he started speaking Mandarin. I was like,
that's what I was gonna say.
I'm like,
hazard
you're
to
done
guess
with me.
was,
I know a little bit of Cantonese, but I would never do an apology in Mandarin. I'm sorry. For anyone who really doesn't know their language history, Mandarin is fairly modern in terms of the Chinese language. Cantonese is a little bit more of the ancient of the two. You do have a Fukienese language in there, but In terms of like, if I were to go to Hong Kong, like, back in the day, speak a little Cantonese, you're good to go. You go into mainland China, you're gonna have to know some Mandarin to get around. That's how that works.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. You don't just simply want. Let me put it like this before Leia begins. One does not simply just speak Chinese.
Well, honestly, it's like say you take a trip to Baja California, or say you go into somewhere like Costa Rica. Yeah, if you know your Spanish, you'll be all right. But you need to know a little bit of Portuguese if you're going to go into Brazil, and even the Brazilian Portuguese versus Portuguese in Portugal is going to be a little different.
In other words, you got Batman that shit.
More or less.
Yep.
More or less. I mean, if you're going to go to another country, you want to be able to say, "Hey, where's the bathroom?" So.
Bathroom. Bathroom.
Baño.
Bathroom.
Do you guys think the apology, that's what we're talking about, do apologies hurt or help? In his case, well, I think that question has pretty much been answered because, but what do you think about here, when it opens here? Do you think we'll care? We just want to go in and see the cars crash? Or are we going to say, I don't think I want to waste money on that guy?
Well,
they basically World War Z the cars in the previous film.
Yeah.
We can attack that question a few different ways. We've gone through, say, close to 2 years of Koof. More or less, people have moved on. Like, let's be serious. They've moved on. They've gone to HBO Max. They've gone to Netflix, which Netflix is gross.
Netflix gonna be Netflix.
I was gonna say Netflix is gay, but
among other things.
Yeah,
considering what they're pushing now, Q Force. Have you heard of that yet, you guys?
Yeah, I heard about that. Which I didn't want to watch that.
It goes back to
Wolf can tell you about it, Brian.
It goes back to a certain person from a certain POTUS's State Department getting a chairmanship within the Netflix board, who managed to put together a nice little contract for certain previous POTUS, who we're just now starting to see some of that stuff kind of bear fruit, if you will. You know which trailer I'm talking about, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I forgot what it was. It was like We the People or something like that. Like,
yeah.
So that's what I'm getting at. Yeah. So that's where you see all that coming from. But people have moved on. There's also streaming alternatives now. Like, even with the news. Like, if you don't want to go through a mainstream source, you go through alternative sources like Telegram. You follow people that you like. Right now, I'm kind of checking out Ivory Hecker, who just happened to more or less release some information on the particular type of censorship in her workplace. So I thought that was pretty interesting. But then on top of that,
who are we talking about?
We're talking about moving on from theaters.
No. Who'd you missing just now?
Ivory Hecker.
Ivory Hecker. Type that in the private chat real quick.
Here, I'll have to.
Please and thank you.
Well, for me, moving on from theaters, so far, some of the films they've released has actually done pretty well. I mean, Wolf, you work at a theater and they've opened back up, but like Quiet Place 2, which I actually do want to see, but I want to go to I actually do.
Godzilla did really well too.
Yes, it's already it did, yes, and I think it already passed it just passed the $1 million mark or something. Something like that. And so far,
suck it, SJ Hobos. We won.
Yep.
Monsterverse won.
Yes, it did. It's already passed the $1 million mark this year. I think it's the first film to do that after the lockdown, or pre-Koof or after Koof or whatever. So I think surprisingly, I think in a way, theaters might be making, because I still like the movie going experience. I don't want to see everything cooped up at home on the stream. I don't put all my eggs in one basket the way some people might do, as Trooper talked about. I'd still like to get out and go to the theater with an audience to see a film, just like I plan to. I don't know about this weekend because Michigan is opened up. We're now completely opened up now. So I'm now free to go back into the theaters. And the first thing I said, what I did was I would try to see A Quiet Place. I try to see A Quiet Place too. I've heard some good things about it, and I'm ready for a good thriller. So I don't mind that, but I don't want to get off topic, but I just, it's just going to be interesting to see how audience responds to F9. I personally think the series has run out of steam, me personally, no pun intended, but I think it has. I think what is there else to tell with these characters?
Well,
you had like how many? Like 9 movies so far?
Yeah. And
it's a no content franchise that literally all it is about watching a bunch of cars do stunts, which a lot of it is heavily CG'd now. So.
Yeah, not like in the not like in the previous first 3 movies.
Yeah, I'll give you the first 3 films. The first one, I'll give you that because the car chases were.
The first one was 2000's Point Break. That's all that was. that was a 2000 version of Point Break.
Good way of putting that. So I had no intention of seeing it because I said, well, I think it's done. I think it's nothing else for them to do with this franchise.
Without Paul Walker. I'm just saying, I cannot watch it without Paul.
It's been dead for years. In a way.
I love Vin Diesel as the next person. I cannot say he can carry that film without Paul Walker.
No, because he's a one-note actor. I'm sorry. The Vin Diesel is not about a corporate star.
Dom may have family, but the true family he had was Brian. Brian was was really where his family really what kept his family together on an even keel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's like let me correct Simon Project. I did not see no SJ hobos in Godzilla vs. Kong.
But a lot of people thought Godzilla vs. Kong wouldn't make any money, and here it is past the $100 million mark.
Look, we can crack on punk Millie Bobby Brown. we can crack on her about that nonsense. But there was never no SJ hobos in there. Like you get to see a woman die in Godzilla vs. Kong.
Oh, that must have set off so many people.
The fake Gina Carano. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like she like you don't even
know they wanted Gina Carano. It's like sorry.
All I'm saying, all I'm saying is I was like shouting, hooping, and hollering, carrying on. It was an evil female, outright evil female that died on screen. I was like, yes. There is hope for storytelling. You let a villain be a villain, and she paid for it. Yes.
Well, here's the thing. Like Toho,
that must have been a
like
sight to see at that theater.
Toho had like a laundry list of what a Godzilla can and can't do. So I mean, you know, I want to say just like in manga, just like in anime, there's certain things that they more or less hold to in terms of their content. And that's why we got the movie that we got. I mean, if not, I mean, if we were just to leave it to these megacorps, I mean, they would pretty much go ahead.
Seriously, I was shocked. I was really shocked that it turned out the way it did, considering that the one who directed it was the same guy who directed that shitty Death Note live action for America.
Well, I heard about that
what I'm saying, dude. Like Toho more like what they had to do, and if like you more or less were paying attention to this film from its inception, they literally had to pitch an idea to Toho. Toho literally sat in there with like, you know, their representatives, and they grilled them about it. And they went over the script, and they already had like a laundry list of things that they had to do, I'm
not doing this facetiously, guys. I'm a big Toho nut. So what he's saying, he's speaking my language.
But the whole point is Toho more or less combed the silver, you know, with a fine tooth comb. You know, Gojira. Godzilla can only do this, but he can't do that. He can't emote, but he can do this. So they kind of, you know.
And you better listen, because we did Ishiro Honda did pass away.
Well, and here's the thing.
Ago, so they have
it
to honor
blew
that.
everybody in terms of expectations, and that's why we're getting a second. We're getting a second film. So I mean, if you were watching these films already, then this is still one of the best films to come out of that. Um, as far as Godzilla in the previous film, people liked it, people didn't like it. I personally didn't watch it. Um, I was still watching other stuff. Like I have a trove of films, but this is what I've been saying. This is my particular situation. States are telling you to coop up. So what are you going to do? You're going to find alternatives to get your entertainment. Me, I have films. Or I order films. Hey, I want to watch this. Hey, let me go on eBay. Let me order this. Oh, that's perfect. Under $10, sold. In terms of streaming, like only thing I really do now, and I've been telling this on previous streams before. Pluto TV. It doesn't cost you anything to watch. But then again, when you agree to the terms of service, you're basically saying that because it's Paramount, mind you, it's Paramount. That your viewing habits they will sample in order to go ahead and to focus their programming. And I'm like, cool. Then I'll just constantly watch, the Baywatch channel 24/7. That's what I like. It's like, I mean, Baywatch running is a thing. It's like Pam Anderson in her prime. Yasmin Bleeth. It's like all these cool hokey storylines. I can watch that all day.
Hey, y'all better hope that the SJ Hobos don't catch the Japanese with this shit.
Well,
I don't think they will. The Japanese. And I mean,
no. Look in the private chat.
Okay.
The Pinterest, huh?
No,
good grief.
Or is it more octopus? Nah.
No.
Well, it's really funny that you bring up. Harajuku, like during the lockdown.
Or Genguru.
Well, during the lockdowns, that whole area in Tokyo, literally just
Gunguro.
Like, I don't want to say it died out, but it was decimated. Like, if you were to watch any of the videos right now, as far as you go down into that area, it's like it's not like a ghost town, but it's not like it was before. And that style of dress is like almost nowhere near present. So I mean, again, you look into a lot of this stuff, and we've talked about don't apologize. It's like you have to embrace, from a culture perspective, you have to embrace cultures as they are. You can't unilaterally decide, oh well, I don't like this, so I'm going to go ahead and write it in such a way that my character is non-binary. Hey, that's great. If there's this little fringe 1% market of non-binary weirdos who you choose to enable their mental, their mental, whatever you want to call it, disability or whatever, go ahead, do that. Go ahead and make your, $10 off of a comic or whatnot. But my point is, it's, you start doing that and we slowly move into where we are now with a lot of these franchises. And I said this in the back room, to Wolf prior to everyone jumping on. When it comes to these franchises, what's happening is that they're building culture for, the generation that's now out there. They're no longer building culture for us. We're out of it. We're done. The game is over. Like, we're adults. So, our decade of MCU, that's it. Our prequels, that's it. The sequel trilogy was not made for any post-millennial or any peer group that is now, in their 30s or even late 20s. No, they're trying to hit the younger generations with all this stuff. So that's why we're getting,
a lot of garbage.
Daughter who looks like a political activist dressed in all black. Again, they're building culture for them now. But the thing is with the Twitterati culture, where it's instant gratification of being able to marginalize someone online because it's not the real world and you can say whatever you want. It does not affect them directly, but it affects everyone else indirectly, because then that's what they start producing. That's what they're cranking out now. I mean, look at what they're doing with all these reboots of, if you want to stick to one mega franchise, look at what they've done to, what's a good one? I hate having to go with Little Mermaid, but look at what they're doing with Little Mermaid. That's fine.
Yes.
When we talk about Little Mermaid, we're always going to think of the animated film. But if I talk to someone about Little Mermaid, who is now part of a different, generational gap, they're going to refer to the remake that's going to be up and coming. That's going to be the version of what they more or less will perceive. Oh, no, this is the way it's always been. It's like, no, there was an animated film. Well, nobody cares about boomer animation. What are you talking about? It's like, well, I actually got more content in my films than you are. You're actually getting less content. I know and I said this in the last room too, Leia and I have had this conversation where, again, people tell you about something, but they can't tell you what they like about it. They can just tell you that they like it. So, and that's what we're getting. We're getting like this instant gratification, like pseudo culture, where it's all based on social media pandering. It's like, I never understood that, because those aren't the people that are literally, funding your business. So
you're right. Like you're saying, they may be going for, what is it, Gen Z or X or no, not X, or
Gen Z this time, because
they're going for like
millennials have grown up right now.
They're going for like the early Zoomers that are now like 21, 22 and all that.
Right.
Stuff. Literally just came out of Common Core and all that stuff. So
yeah, they're going right, Brian. They're going for them, and politics, making things political. They now feel that it's just like you said. Now, and even now, we have. I guess Snow White is no longer Snow White anymore. She's Latina Snow White. To them, Luke Skywalker is
soy milk drinking bum.
Yes, yep, turned into a cave dwelling, milk drinking bum, and Rey is the bestest ever and can do everything and is almighty, and that's what Star Wars is about and always been about. Even though that is there's a whole history. There are 3 other films that don't even follow what Star Wars is about, but they will believe it is because of what they are pushing out and using the hims and he's and thys and whatever they pronouns and those and them.
I call them it's.
Yes.
You want to be it, just be it. Don't try to be something else that's already been established.
It's like talking Shakespeare.
Yeah, you knock the sequel trilogy, and guess who they're going to associate you with? They're not going to associate you with Rey or with Kylo. No, they're going to associate you with that green milk or blue milk. Well, not even blue milk. The green milk drinking old boomer.
Yeah.
Right out of his cow teeth. That's who they're going to associate you with. While they associate themselves with like Rey, who can do whatever and became a Force user really quick because she used her wits, all that stuff.
It's the disrespect for the previous generation.
Well, true. Well, absolutely true. And what that does is, it's putting that generation in the forefront. But again, one of the things that it's doing is it's intentionally causing that disconnect. So, that's why you're seeing, groups of older fan bases now starting to point this out, especially on social platforms like this. And on the opposite end, you've got those people on Twitter that are still like, oh, look, they're just complaining. Oh, this is the best stuff. That's how you know it's good, because they're complaining about it. So.
Well, they feel that things began with them. Every time I'm getting so tired of hearing a sentence saying the first ever this, the first ever this, the first ever black albino born on on January 5th, first Capricorn from Hawaii, is like, number one.
It's like Schooner Tuna always says. It's like Schooner Tuna always says that, like, nothing happens before the 2010s. The rest of it is just a blank slate.
Yes, absolutely.
I agree. Absolutely agree. They think that there is never ever Rey is the only strong female that's ever existed. Carol Danvers is the first strong female that ever existed. There was no Princess Leia. There was no Ripley. There was no Sarah Connor. There was no Linda Carter, Wonder Woman. That it all began.
None of the female video game characters either.
Yeah, same way. They think there's nobody's done it but them. That's exactly what they think. Like nobody's done it but them. That somebody is the first black person to do this or first person to do this, and they think that nothing, like you said, that the time did not begin until 2010, and then they just know and do everything. I even notice now, if I can say this, you notice more interracial couples and romances. They act like they're the first ones to do that. I'm like, oh, stop. You guys really need to stop. But they think, the like Kevin Costner and Whitney Houston, The Bodyguard never happened. Kirk and Uhura, Kirk and Uhura smooched. They don't know anything about that. They I'm trying to think of some famous others.
Pacific Rim also established a new thing about the ending climax to two characters coming together, the hug. And they're going to try to pretend that, oh well, our movie don't have the people kissing this time, or at least in the case of Raylo, we have the right type of people kissing, toxic people.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's one thing. That's the one thing I did appreciate Pacific Rim for doing, was establishing that two people can be friends in the end, not specifically just kiss at the end, which is what we used to do way back when.
Yeah,
which was normal. It was normal. I'm not saying that was a bad thing. What I am saying is that was a nice change for a time when it was established with that one movie, because Mako and Relay was never set up to be lovers. They were set up to be partners, specifically partners as a Jaeger program. Now, yes, you established the movie did establish that Jaeger pods do become lovers too with the with Cherno Alpha's team. Sasha and Alexia. Those were two lovers, but you now you could say that was kind of like a setup between Mako and Relay becoming a couple, right? Not really. Yeah. It's an option. It was always an option. But what did they go? What did Del Toro go for the ending? A hug, not a kiss.
Right.
So I like that. Again, like they trying to be trailblazers. The trail has already been blazed.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Trail has already been blazed, and when
they don't know their history.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. When somebody's trying to remind them of that, they say, "Oh, you offended me now." You know. I'm like
they go tone deaf.
It's to disconnect younger people from, again, the preceding generation. It's almost to intentionally create the gap.
It's like wanting to start from year zero all over again.
Let me push pause real quick, guys. Let me push pause to address Dread 2012 death. Dude, we definitely do miss you, but if you got things to take care of outside of these streams and stuff, you gotta take care. That comes first, as always. So I do appreciate. I do appreciate you. You always come in here, but if anything you have to do to take care of out there, take care of that first. You come first, dude. You come first. But thank you for being here. And it's good to hear you again. It's also good to hear Child of the Flower come back as well. But yeah, Dread 2012. Dude, so glad that you're here again. So yeah, and of course Don Palace here. I didn't even address the chat real quick. So we have Matt Newey, we have Melissa Harris, we have Sam Proctor starting up a freaking Godzilla debate of all things. And I asked him to shelve that for now because it's an interesting conversation, yes. But we don't want that taking over the chat for a bit. So guys, stay on topic if you will, and please do your best to to stay positive in the chats.
Yep. Anyways,
what you guys going? And you guys want to add to the stop apologizing thing? Because I would like to bring up a special person that actually inspired me to not apologize, like the way how these media heads have been doing. The Hercules himself, Kevin Sorbo.
Oh yes, yeah.
Oh yes,
yeah.
Man is
absolutely, yes, absolutely.
Man is a savage on Twitter. By the way, man is a savage on interviews. Man is a savage no matter what. Look, I don't agree with his religious politics and stuff like that. But dude, I said this. I said this. I quoted him. You talk a lot of shit, but you always been my Hercules. Like you always down, and surprisingly, he hasn't blocked me. So I guess he appreciated what I said. or at least
Hey,
in
great
his
minds think alike, eh, Wolfie?
look, or in his case, I just think he don't give a fuck what you would say about him at this point. That man's a strong man. That man's
He
a
doesn't.
real strong man.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
Bruh, if nature would ordain it, I'd let that man adopt me to be my. Sorry, Dad. I love you. I love you. I respect you too. But Kevin Sorbo, I kind of wish he was my adopted dad sometimes. the man is strong in his convictions. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's one of the that's one of the
Like I said
reasons.
before, he's a Chad.
Mm.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of the reasons he wasn't getting cast anymore. Is because he was not following the Hollywood culture, and he said
Man, got
in
his own business too after that.
yeah, he survived that, but he wouldn't play the Hollywood game. He didn't have the Hollywood culture. He didn't let it, like you said, his beliefs are strong. But I always feel that we can disagree, but we shouldn't disrespect each other if we can disagree.
Right.
Just like you said, you don't always follow his beliefs, but he'll be your Hercules anytime. And so to me, he never fell into it. And I think that's why they wouldn't cast him in too many roles, is because he wouldn't play that Hollywood game. And I said in an interview he did that I watched on YouTube where he talked about it and how he talked about how people shunned him because he wasn't thinking the way Hollywood wanted him to think. He wasn't as liberal as most Hollywood people are.
Mm-hmm.
No, he was not.
Oh, I'm sorry, Wolf. Did you want to go on about Kevin? About Kevin
Yeah,
that was the only one.
No. He's not the only one. Of course, we do like to bring up Gina.
Oh yes.
Just briefly mention her. Yeah, she's also another inspiration of mine too. But first,
Yeah.
Mine as well.
yeah, she's really the prime example of what you should strive for when you're dealing with bullies, especially in the workforce.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
I
or
mentioned
even
that
outside the workforce. So
I mentioned
she's
that in a comment on Sound Engraver's video on the subject. Where the thing is, she showed a lot of class because she didn't attack anybody. She wouldn't like try to say, "Oh, woe is me." She just kind of stated her case and just let it be at that.
Yeah, but I got when she made that tweet, I got what she was saying.
Mhm.
I don't think she was being racist in that tweet. She was not.
She wasn't. She wasn't because people were just overreacting to it because she mentioned like Nazis and Jews and suddenly, oh my God, anti-Semitic. No, it wasn't. Stop.
Yes, that's exactly.
Well, that's the beauty of it now. In 2021, you can say something like that, and it can be it can be twisted in any which way, shape, or form to blend in with your narrative, and that's all they did. And it's almost like she gave them enough stake, if you will, in terms of bait, and they just went to town, and she came out on the receiving end. I mean, it's not the first time that she's done that type of stuff, especially given the types of tweets that she did put out. I mean, they weren't always overtly as what's the word I'm looking for? They weren't always as a matter of fact. You know, it's the thing with this stuff now, especially knowing where these companies are going. It's almost like if you happen to get out of if you happen to step out of, say, the confinement of what you've been told you can and cannot do, they're gonna just eliminate you altogether. And I mean, that's what they tried to do. I mean, it only made her name go up. So, but
yeah, because they told her if she could keep her job back, they wanted her to do this this viral apology they wanted her to make in front of a bunch of 40 people, and she said no and took her walking papers and left. And I give her mad respect because because to me the real bullies were was the world, Kathleen Kennedy and her flying monkeys and her kingdom and her castle and her kingdom. Those were the real bullies, because I said they've got nerve to talk about someone being racist when they themselves do it. So
Yep.
that's what's getting me about the Mouse Corporation is the fact that they are the very thing they claim to be fighting against, but they're actually doing it. So
Exactly.
I don't see why that she has to she
Hey,
had to
Victoria.
go. Because to me, I got what she was saying. I got the analogy because you know what? Her analogy was the truth. It was the truth. Her analogy is what's happening right now. And it's coming from the very people that claim they're the good guys or claim that we are fighting racism, but they're doing it themselves.
The one
Exactly
that
the point.
claims that they're fighting and their fires are usually going to be the ones that are going to just roll over to those who are real tyrants. At this point, they're going to be. That's why I'm making this stream now. This is what I'm trying to get everybody ready for. It's like you're not going to win by apologizing for something that you didn't do. And no job is worth that. No work is worth that salt. Now I'm willing to give pass to those who do it just for the sake of keeping their job, because we don't know their situation or financially wise, or even stuff like that, right?
Right.
Like I'm willing to really accept that, but if they're willing to just go with that flow for so long, then I have no sympathy for them, period, at this point. So that's where my empathy can stretch for so long. This is like what I was saying about Chloe Zhao with her words. I'm like, maybe I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. As always, I'm gonna give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe she's saying that just to keep her job. Maybe she's there to keep herself on the project, because at this point, like I said, the indie market, we don't really know how the indie market really is, because it only makes a some amount of money, and that's the only thing. The independent film genre or the independent film subdivision don't really get that much attention like big budget movies or even popcorn flicks. We all know that, right? Like, when the last time you ever came across a movie, except for Lady Bird, that was independently made, that really won awards, that got the attention that it got? And I know Lady Bird's an independent film. Was it not?
Yes, it was.
Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong.
It was independent.
Yeah, like Lady Bird was the first one. Even actually, as a matter of fact, I think her breakout movie was No Man's Land. I think it was Nomad Land. The one with Frances McDormand.
Yeah.
I think that was her one. I think that was independently filmed, right? Was it independent? Was that also independent film?
No Man's Land was independent.
I had to look it up.
Okay, you can. I think it was. I think it was, but I could be wrong. Yeah.
Even though that's also not a reliable source, but that's one of the few sources
as far as the distributor. I mean, it'll pretty much say it out loud.
Yeah. But yeah, you look into that, Trooper, if you will. I mean, I'm giving you the floor because you're actually doing the legwork. I would have went and did the legwork, but you took it upon yourself. So, yeah, you.
Well, wow, that was a small budget. So it basically had a small budget of 10 mil.
Must have been independent.
78 million. Yeah, it definitely looks like an independent film. Production company is IAC Films. Entertainment 360. Scott Rudin Productions. Yeah, that was pretty much Vanity label. So yeah, that would be an independent film.
Mm-hmm. So she was the next one to win the awards for her independent film. And again, like I said, I'm willing to let her have that if that was her one chance to make a big budget movie, to make that money. You know what I'm saying? Everything else after that, if she's basking in that arrogance or whatever, say for instance, if her film failed, the tokens.
Mm-hmm.
If the tokens really fail in the box office and she go on that tirade, like most like the lady with the with Harley Quinn and those those three harpies.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She start going on that tirade, then
Yeah.
yeah, she's a lost cause to me.
Well,
But
you
at-
know, the
But she
second-
keep that same demeanor. If she comes at it like if she becomes truthful about how her film failed, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Then I'm like, okay,
Right.
I'll be sympathetic towards you. You know, like it sucks that you have to make a film like that. You know what I'm saying?
As long as he's not blaming men for it failing, I'm going with it.
Well,
Mhm.
don't worry about that. That's coming up this first week. I want to say it's going to be the second week of July when we'll end up seeing that metastasize in the form of entertainment journalism. Let's see where we at.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
Because
Black
you
Widow's
got to
release?
remember, it'll end up being the second week of July.
Mhm.
Black Widow comes out. I think it's on the 8th or 9th.
Yeah,
know,
the 9th.
Yeah, so we're already going to see that. I mean, it's a coveted spot, but to be perfectly honest, I don't know why it wasn't released on the 3rd. Well, I know why it wasn't released on the 3rd because we don't want it associated with the 4th. So,
Oh wow!
Oh goodness!
Oh,
Right,
yeah.
right.
so,
Right,
I mean,
right,
she already
right.
went as far as doing an interview with I think it was Extra. She did it with Extra, and she pretty much came out and said, "Yeah, we couldn't do this movie 10 years ago," basically implying the Paramount run of the MCU. Yeah, we wanted to address women's subjugation. I'm like, you know what? I tuned out. I was like, you know what?
Who said that, by the way?
Subjugation, my
ScarJo.
ass.
ScarJo. But here's the thing: I know who they're pandering to, but unfortunately, it's not me. They're not pandering to me. I'm the one who's actually
Definitely not pandering to my ass
So it's like,
Or
okay,
me.
yeah. So
or Leia.
well,
Not me, yeah, not me either.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
the Twitter audience does not shell out money. I mean, it's all. I guess it's all for brownie points, but brownie points don't translate to money at the box office. This thing is only projected to bring in about 225 million. I mean, that to me is a commercial flop. They're going to go ahead and they're going to spin it as it being a moderate commercial success.
Oh yeah.
COVID, but here's the thing: if it got a similar budget to Captain Marvel, and you got to think this is Black Widow, you got to think it got a bigger budget than the Wasp and the Ant-Man, or Captain Marvel, and they both got the same budget. They got a budget of 160 million. So let's for giggles say that Black Widow got the same amount. If you're saying that Black Widow got 160 million, it's only slated to bring in 225, that to me is a flop, because while it did recover its initial expenses, and we don't know how much the advertising is, we do know that it was almost non-existent. It's going to be a commercial flop. It's just going to be. But I think they
It's
almost
not making a
have
profit.
they almost have to kind of tank this particular female character, because she tends to be of an overtly sexual nature, so they want to move away from that. They got to tank it. It's like, all right, cool, whatever.
So they're sabotaging it deliberately.
Well,
Well,
to me,
you
it
could-
no longer matters, because I mean, the character was done and over with in Endgame. I don't know why they need to take it a step further. I don't get that part. So,
Well, you can see it in the film. She is toned down visually because they don't want you men to drool over her.
Oh, they don't want her to be black either. So,
Yeah,
so she put her in a white outfit.
yeah.
Yep, in a white outfit.
Mhm.
She's toned down wise. She's not as sexy and hot as she has been in the previous
Covered
films.
up her cleavage.
Yes. Yeah. She's not wearing
Oh, yeah.
black. She doesn't have the she's not the way she looked in the Winter Soldier movie. She's not as
Yeah.
hot as she doesn't look like she was in the Winter Soldier movie. I don't know if she's going to be flirting with anyone or not, or males. I don't know. Maybe putting with some women. I don't know.
So,
Well,
So
they got one Russian Captain America with her, played by David Arbor, who's semi middleweight.
Yeah.
well, he
Mm.
gained
Big, with a big beard.
Yeah.
He gained
Yeah.
weight for the part, and I'm like, really? I mean, you're already not at a healthy weight. You really want to gain more weight? I'm like, all right, cool. You do you. Like,
Well,
yeah,
we can't. Of course,
Could
we
have a
can't-
heart attack while he's on a
all
set
the-
or something.
All the other girls are fit as all get out, and yeah, he's the only one that let himself go after their program was shut down.
what's really funny is
We can't have the man coming in there looking stealth and handsome and strong. No, that can happen. We've got to humiliate him. So make him a fat, lazy slob, so that the women can look strong and fit and can sit there and make jokes about him, and he can look like the Homer Simpson of the group.
It's not so much humiliating now as much as bringing up these new trove of characters while, more or less putting all these existing characters away. And the way they do that is to nail the coffin shut, if you will.
And that's what Kevin Feige's doing.
Yeah, more or less. I mean, if you look at the films,
destroy the past, kill it if you must.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that they were already peddling in Star Wars. But to me, to be perfectly honest, I didn't even watch the final film, and the first film was an invite, so I got out of actually paying any type of revenue for that. I mean, those free tickets more or less had already paid for my seat. It just meant it came out of a different wallet. But in looking at my films, I mean, you can tell. I mean, and I'm a completionist. You can tell which ones I don't really gravitate to by the way that they're still in cellophane. And I have this big thing for slip covers, especially if I do a Blu-ray. It's got to have a slip cover. But you look at my collection, and it's like Wasp and the Ant-Man is not opened. Also, you have Endgame that's not opened. Even as far From Home is not opened. And I kind of like Far From Home. I don't have a problem with Far From Home, but I usually never watch that film because when it comes to Marvel films, I can tell you which ones are the most popular for me. They tend to be Infinity War. They tend to be Doctor Strange of all things, which I don't really think was ever really a strong film. I tend to watch Iron Man 3. I tend to watch Iron Man 2. Every now and then I'll pop into Captain America films. The
only thing that intrigued me about Doctor Strange is the way how he confronted the villain. That was a nice change of pace. With all the punch, beat, knockout, drag out fights, that I really did enjoy the fact that Stephen Strange really solved that issue, if you will, for those who
we got.
I like the idea of the wizardry. I'm sorry, Trooper. I'll get back to you, but I see what you're saying, Trooper. It's not interesting, but I liked the idea of adding the wizard to the Avengers, and I like that his powers were mystical. Iron Man has his suit. We know Cap has his heart. Thor has his hammer. But here's a man whose powers are beyond what their comprehension. So he's there to battle what they cannot handle. And I liked that. I actually kind of like that. I see what you're saying, True, about not being a film, but the mystical part, I kind of like. And like Wolf was saying, how he battled the villain in a totally different way. Even when him and the other guy were fighting the I can't think of his name.
Mandarin.
Caecilius.
Yes. Using mystical powers. I thought that was pretty neat. Mm-hmm. But continue.
Yeah, he was the fit. Sorry, before Trooper goes, he was the physical knockout drag-out fight in that regard.
Right.
But the thing is that what was interesting about Stephen Strange was the fact that he was not a fighter in that film, and it showed. It really did show that he was not a fighter, unlike say Iron Man or Captain America or Thor, or even the let's just say the I'm gonna be nice here. The support characters like Falcon or
B characters.
Thank you. B characters.
You can say that Falcon, Bucky.
Bucky. I'm blanking on the names because again I'm on an empty stomach. I'm slightly on an empty stomach here. So forgive me if I'm drawing blanks on people that I should already know since I say their names so many times. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying was,
well, now that you bring that up, I mean, Captain Marvel is a B-list character who should not have gotten an A-list film because
she's not a B tier. She's a FX WXYZ in my book.
I mean, putting one.
Like nobody even likes Captain Marvel after what happened in Civil War 2.
Well, here's the thing.
They had a chance to make it right.
Putting personal opinion aside, be that as it may, in terms of superhero lineups, I'm talking in terms of lineups. I really don't care what Brie Larson had for dinner, or how many times she actually has to squat to go to the bathroom. But what I'm getting at is, in terms of lineups, it's like, okay, that's why Marvel or Captain Marvel really doesn't resonate that late in the phase. I mean, at this point, B-list characters like Hawkeye and Black Widow have now actually become more or less A-list heroes within the fan base, if you will. Not so much Falcon, because I mean he was fairly recent, in terms of he shows up, in Winter Soldier, but I mean he's there for most of the ride going into Age of Ultron. But what I'm getting at, it's bringing in someone someone that late in, it only makes more sense to have brought in someone that was already established and not establish a new character. Do you see what I'm saying?
I'm gonna derail this conversation. I want to swing it back to ScarJo and the comments that she's been making recently, considering that she used to.
Well, that's what I'm getting at.
Well, I'm saying I'm saying I call in the irony on what she's saying now versus what she said back then. She took a stance on the acting gig and the acting shots where people are questioning, where people had shout out the director for trying to make a story really, from what I heard, was going to be a well-written story about a trans person, right? But they don't have a trans person playing the character. They have ScarJo, right? So I'm like, I'm thinking like, so y'all never thought that maybe a trans person don't want to be in the spotlight like that? You never thought to consider that? Why not hire somebody with some with confidence that really that really encourage trans people to get into that kind of work environment? Because maybe they don't want to be put out there like that. You like imagine, if you will, how homosexuals were treated when they out themselves as homosexual, despite playing straight characters on any kind of material. Do you really think that the trans people would have really been that open to that idea of being hired to act? They never think about that.
They would not.
Never. Well, they never think of that. Think of it that way, because they don't.
We're going into the weeds with that one, because I mean it's 2021. If she wants to get a job, she's gonna have to pretty much say what they want her to say. That's what it really comes down to. I mean, if she still wants to continue making any films whatsoever, and I'm not shilling for Scarlett Johansson, it's like, look,
bitch, you a model. You don't need no acting gig.
I'm sure she's burned through all her money. If that's the case, then this is why we're here. Like, and that's what a lot of these actors do. They come into an influx of money. They don't invest it. They just live off it. They get into this Hollywood lifestyle, and guess what? Now they got to continue making films. I mean, one has to question, okay, why is Harrison Ford even coming back for a 5th installment of Indiana Jones?
Yeah, ain't he supposed to be a producer now at this point?
Like, at this point, he's well established enough. There's no reason to keep making these Indiana Jones films. But I mean, that's just an example. Again, going back to Captain Marvel, so late in the phase, and regardless of what you think, in terms of the D+ phases that we're still in the process of getting through, if that was going to be indeed the case, then technically her story was going to carry into D+. That's not what we did. We went right into D+. With all this generic previous movie content, Peter Pan, Dumbo, and all that. And then, they're adding WandaVision, and then they're adding another,
D+ should have been the launching pad to introduce different characters.
D+ should have been its own thing. It should have been its own thing.
You should have brought in new characters for Disney+.
But Disney tied it to MCU because it knew that the MCU had a large spending base, which now it's decided it no longer wants. Hey, you know what? Cool, whatever. It's still not my problem. But what I'm getting at is, again, going back to my point, was they even went as far as introducing, Wasp. So why not make a Wasp film? It's like, in that whole phase, that 10-year decade, if you will, we already had an Ant-Man, and we were already potentially introduced to Wasp.
I was glad about, definitely, Trooper. I'm glad that poster didn't shrink Ant-Man like they did my boy Fan.
But I mean, heck, we
Mhm.
even went as
Oh,
far as introducing Gamora, Nebula. We introduced Wanda Maximoff already. Again, all these female characters, which whether you call them B-list characters, which at the time they were, guess what? They're now A-list characters. That would have been
Mm-hmm.
the time to pick one of these actors to go ahead and start tent poling into the next phase. If it wasn't going to be Scarlett Johansson, and if it wasn't going to be Elizabeth Olsen, then okay, now we're looking at Zoe, Saldana. Is she still tied into that Star Trek stuff? Okay, no, or let's say she is. Okay, then who else is next? And literally go down that list. I mean, if they need to have a woman, go through each one, do every check mark. Okay, well, it looks like Evangeline is going to be our temple. Then guess what? We have to go into a whole new direction. Let's go into the microverse. I don't see a problem with it, but we didn't do that. Instead, we shoehorned a character for the sake of agenda, which they could have done with any of these other characters.
Diversity points.
They didn't need to go in that direction with Brie Larson. They could have literally had any of these other actresses go ahead and inject that stuff, and I'm pretty sure people would have been okay to an extent, where they would have said, "Hey, you know what? I'm glad I got a Wasp film, but this isn't the Wasp I really wanted." But again, they're not playing that game anymore. Now it's okay. Let's go ahead and introduce completely different characters
I'm still waiting for a
that are going
Stature
to
movie,
polarize the audience, because what we want
but
is
she
we
ain't
want
grown
the-
up yet.
Well, we want the section of the audience that doesn't necessarily pay to see these films, but they do go ahead and vocalize their praise for them, and that's who they're appealing to. They're appealing to the Twitter audience. So
I was going to add, Brian. I'm sorry. Did you have something you wanted to add about the ScarJo comment, or?
Yeah, I think it was like what Trooper was saying earlier, that they do what's good for the publicity. It's like, if you were to really like get into their actual beliefs, they don't really care. It's all just a means to an end.
Yeah, I agree, and I was going to piggyback off. I think Young Ripa did a video on it about actors taking these roles
This is
based
the
on these.
recent
Lack of
video.
integrity.
Yeah, about their integrity, and it was a good video. I think Ripa really hit it on the head, and I'm glad he said what he said about a lot of these actors.
Continues to say
Basically,
what he say.
yeah, I agree with him. And for a lot of them, there is no integrity or dedication to the role. Like back in the day, I'll say back in the day, but when Christopher Reeve got the role of Superman, he said in an interview he took it seriously. I mean, he took it like it was the Bible. He was so serious.
Yep.
It was a different
he,
group of actors at
yeah,
that point.
and he, not just the acting, but he knew what that role, what that role meant, and how he carried himself, and how he carried himself in
I can
other
interject?
roles. Yeah. Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah, I was going to say, back then, actors at least took a little pride in what they did. These days, they're not that committed. They're just doing whatever they do.
Not
I
children
agree.
pretending to be actors.
Again, some are, but people, or more or less, I would say armchair fans, more or less, don't tend to hone in on a lot of these actors that are still more or less under the radar, but you do see in who they attack. Rosario Dawson is definitely one of those actresses that's still, I mean, her and I would not necessarily agree politically in a room, but I could more or less say that me and her being in the same room, we're not going to go for each other's throats. We're going to have we're going to have coffee and a bagel. She's going to sign my 8x10, and I'm going to shake her hand and take a picture and then hang it on my wall. But I mean, you also have to look at like in terms of acting school, and all that stuff. A lot of these actors, to about a certain point, just like Schooner says, once 2010 hit, life began. But she's one of those actresses that is classically trained, and you do see it in that she doesn't bring her politics to her acting. I mean, that's why they really wanted her off of the set when it came to her playing Ahsoka Tano, like, because she's not necessarily going out and saying all these things that are polarizing like some of these newer actors and actresses are doing for Disney, while Disney's like, oh wow, this is great. You know, I know last night I mentioned a comment about Maple White and her nasty comments. You know, and you know she's
What are we
slated
talking
to be Maple White
Oh yeah.
in her
Yes.
her toxic comments against, you know.
Let me get a snack real quick.
Yeah. Don't fall in. But yeah, so you know, it's while there's still a few actors and actresses out there, it's not that many anymore. Now what we're getting the type of actor, which we can call them actors, but really they're political activists is what we're
That-
getting.
That's what I was
Yep.
about to say. Yeah.
You
I
know,
took the
whether it
words
be-
right out of my mouth.
Mhm.
well, like you can see it more so now than if. Well, you know, let's keep it within the MCU so people can kind of stay with the conversation and not get lost when I go on a tangent. Perfect example was Brie Larson. I mean, that was
Oh
one of the
yes.
first political activists they went ahead and they hired into the MCU because, I mean, prior to that, you really didn't see any type of scathing remarks or any actors or actresses apologizing for their comments prior to that. I mean, you know,
She said Captain Marvel was her protest movie. Those were the words that came out of her mouth. She
Yeah,
saw it
yeah.
as a protest film.
yeah, exactly.
And she said she didn't want white people reviewing her film or something like that.
Yeah, but she didn't want 40-year-old white men coming to see her films. Yeah.
Well, you know, she doesn't have to worry about me. There's nothing about her that, you know, flips my switch. So, you
I
know,
see what you mean there.
so she's tone deaf on that one again. But, you know, it's like, as far as Rosario Dawson, I mean, we can go back as far as 2005 Sin City. I mean, I can even go far back, you know, in terms of where I first saw her. And, you know, it's, yeah, you know, looking back at these films like Sin City and Rent, and maybe if we really want to go, you know, even further, you can say, what's a good film that comes to my head as far as Rosario Dawson? Well, you know what? She did work with Tarantino. So, I mean, looking at those films now, those films could not be made now because, well, even Zombieland Double Tap couldn't be made. Well, actually, no. They couldn't be made with Zombieland Double Tap, I should say.
I don't like Double Tap.
Well, I was gonna get to the first zombie film or the first Zombieland film. Stuff like that could not be made now. Now it has to change. It has to conform with where we're at. But I mean, you know, as far as like the Tarantino stuff beforehand, you couldn't make that now. Like
you couldn't make Death Proof. You couldn't make Death Proof now. You couldn't make that. There's no way you could make that movie
You
now.
could make Planet Terror now.
Yeah.
Yep. Can't make that now.
Yep. Yeah. Then you know, you took the words out of my mouth. You two, like Death Proof, 2007. You know, again, life did not happen before 20.
Hang on, I'm pretty sure Death Proof would have got you know, would have gotten over. It starts mostly.
Not because Death Proof.
Not all of it.
Because
not all.
Look
at how they're dressed. Look at how they're dressed.
True. Very true.
Again, there's that quote unquote male gaze.
Well, Mary Elizabeth Winstead was the only one that dressed very provocative. Everybody else.
Look, what
Zoe Bell was in jeans.
To you and provocative to me are two very different things. Are provocative. Like my whole thing is she could be wearing jeans and she could be wearing.
Just talking about you.
Buddy.
She could be wearing a nice blouse. But regardless, you still get a profile there. You still, you know, again, you know, you're still.
There was that bit where you can see underneath Zoe Bell's shirt. I do agree with that.
You can see it. You can see the aesthetic. You know, you don't have to sexualize a woman for a woman to be a woman. You know, women always have an aesthetic to them. That's what makes them women. You know, I mean.
Hang on.
Yeah, good.
Oh, here we go. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Motherfucker, will you stop stepping on my toes?
Oh dear.
Anyways.
Let him have it.
That's okay, I was blowing my nose. It's allergies. It's windy here in Vegas, so
Yeah, it's pretty sunny, so it's gonna kick up my allergies too pretty soon. But anyways,
Go ahead,
the
Commander. Go
brilliant
at it.
star, the brilliant star that shines through the night, the sharp thorn in the side of evil. Rise, our man stands before you. Rise, our man. Rise, our man. Kadi, kadi, cow. Rise, our man. Rise, our man. Shingo wood, kick, kick, call, pow. Thank you, everybody.
Yes, Fig. Everybody applaud. I'm applauding. I'm clapping. I don't know if you can hear, but I am.
I can hear it.
oh goodness.
I'm glad.
That's a girl. Is you popping some? Is you popping
I'm
stickers or
clapping
something?
on the inside. I'm clapping on the inside.
Yeah.
I'm clapping. I was.
Yeah, this is Ryan. He was clapping too. I was gonna right quick, and we'll get back to the death, because I thought that maybe perhaps the first scene where Kurt Russell is terrorizing Rose McGowan might not get made today. I don't think they would have liked that opening scene where she's the first victim. They would not allow that.
It's promoting violence against women.
Yes, yeah,
oh, yeah. People on Twitter would have an aneurysm over that.
Yeah, they would.
Yep. I didn't have a problem with it when I saw it. I was going along with it because I knew, what kind of villain he was. But
I think
today,
I think in the kindergarten SJW coloring book it says don't go further back than 2010. Because,
yes.
because, gosh, can you imagine how many films would be freaking canceled?
Yeah,
even Superman would be canceled. Because you know,
yeah.
It's one of those.
Final Fantasy VI couldn't be made today.
Oh yeah, no, not in any way, shape, or form. Aliens couldn't even be made today. The way it was, like you couldn't see Ripley in a T-shirt and nothing else. You couldn't. There's no way. I mean, granted, yeah, she did have her unmentionables on, but you know what I'm getting at. Like,
but it wasn't in bad taste. It was understandable.
I mean, within the context of the frame. Yeah, within the context of the frame, it all makes sense. But these people don't look for rationale in their scenes now. Now they want like intergalactic space horses on the side of a Star Destroyer. like I don't know how to communicate with that. I speak college. You speak, pre-K. Like I don't.
Yeah.
They want a world of unicorn farts.
Well, that is kind of an oblique way of putting it, but yeah, no, it's true. It is honestly true, because if you look at the pop culture that's being just dispensed like a gumball machine, that is all you're getting.
Yeah.
And and that's why I've seen like these YouTubers just kind of just prey on that, and then you get all these rage videos and blah 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 blah. Jar Jar Abrams, and I'm like, yeah, I get that. It's like that's his MO. We've always known that to be his MO. Like all these dudes are literally capitalizing on woke, and it's like they're gonna lose their money, or rather, the studios are gonna lose their money. The directors and the actors aren't, because they get paid at the end of the day. So, that's why ScarJo can say, "Oh yeah, they sexualize me." I'm like, woman, you willingly jumped into that cat suit. I don't remember ever hearing you publicly. Yeah, I don't ever remember you publicly saying that it hurt your nether regions and that it was too tight. So, I mean, had that been
only Michelle Pfeiffer can wow.
What happened? Oh, yeah, you got
my tongue done tied around my my tongue.
Here's the thing. I remember Sharon Stone said something about.
Yeah, I was gonna say she the one. She has the right to complain about the cat suit.
Well, that's Michelle Pfeiffer. You're mixing your MILFs here, but like, in terms of MILFs, like I remember Sharon Stone saying something, and I'm like, you're irrelevant now. You're old. Like, and I don't mean to be an ageist, because I mean that is within the context of Hollywood. You're old.
That's why an actor needs to start working on being a producer.
Yeah, no one wants to see you cross your legs anymore at 65 or however many years you are. It's like at that point, it's no one wants to see their grandmother cross their legs on screen. That's just kind of gross. But
men get old,
and
women get replaced.
Yeah, that's why again, it's really funny. We're kind of moving into Shazam here, getting ready for the second film. And as far as those costumes, they look fantastic. They're taking on a little bit more of a Man of Steel tone, but I think that's fine. I think that's really fine where we're going with it. You don't really hear any murmurs right now. I mean, granted, some of the Twitterati, are already complaining, but it's like, look, it's a film. You're at the end of the day, your money's not paying for it. If this is what the studio wants, then too bad, so sad.
I think Helen Mirren is in it, and she looks great in her costume. It's not,
yeah.
but I saw her on set, and I'm like, she looks great.
She
For her
working
age,
it.
she's in her 70s. Yeah, she is, and I love
Love
the
it,
fact-
girl. Work it,
Yeah.
girl.
She is.
Own it,
I will give her all mass respect that she is a senior citizen, but she is having so much fun right now. In what is it, Hobbs and Shaw? I think it's what it was. She was great as the mother, and then I saw her with these on-set pictures for Shazam, and she looks great. She is having a good time.
Yeah.
Whereas other actors
Now-
her age were like, "Oh, I'm not lowering myself to that."
Yeah, I'm not
Shazam
lowering
role."
myself to that.
No.
Lower
Mhm.
myself.
I-
How
yeah, he-
elitist can you get?
They can get pretty elitist. They can.
They
I
can.
mean,
They can.
I mean, this is why they can, push you to, do things a certain way, or, propagandize your choices into doing something that you normally wouldn't yourself choose. But because LeBron said it, it must be cool. I should, could, would, should.
Yeah.
And that's literally. I mean, if we're looking at these actors as what they are, which is they're influencers. I mean, that's our upper
self-appointed
class.
influencers at that.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Well-
As far as apologizing, I don't think we're going to get any apologies out of ScarJo for her comments now in 2021. I mean, and I don't think they're going to bring up her, her script that she got canceled for.
In a role that
Mhm.
that Black, whether she likes it or not, Black Widow turned her into a superstar. A role that turned her into a superstar.
Oh yeah.
She was around the
It was
Hollywood
role that
scene.
broke her out.
Yeah. It was the role that really broke her out, and
Well,
now
look at all
she's
these
trashing on
actors.
it.
Look at all these actors prior, prior to Infinity War. Well, let's make a really, really, really clear comparison. Look at Infinity War and look at where we started. Oh, we'll say Iron Man. We won't even bring Hulk into it because Hulk is irrelevant in the whole MCU line because Ed Norton got out of it early. And in terms of Liv Tyler, she has a life. Acting is not her entire life. She did, Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
That's all she had to do for the rest of her life. She knew when to get out. So, I mean, she does things here and there. But she didn't become a Natalie Portman, doing the whole Black Swan crap. And then it's like, I only take highfalutin movies now because I'm such a good
Quit smelling your own
actor."
farts.
Yeah, exactly. So, but look at where they were, Chris Evans, even RDJ.
Oh,
I mean,
don't
RDJ
get
had
started on
gone
him.
through a whole bunch of stuff prior to Iron Man. I mean,
Yeah, I had to tell my nephew that RDJ started off as RDJ was in the same class as Tom Cruise, but he took a wrong turn and was out of the picture for a very long time.
Yeah, because he made very poor life choices, at that time. And I mean, he talks about them. He's never been like, oh, we can't talk about that. He was always very open when when it came to
I will say
literally
this of
making
him
a
when you
huge
bring
turn.
that up,
Yeah.
Trooper, him being very open about that's a man who has went through the ringer and learned from his mistakes to be that open about his past vices, if you will.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a man.
Yep.
As a learned man now in the acting business, he is a learned man now. Where he's taking that these days, it's all up to him. Obviously, let's hope he stays like that, man. That's never easy to get through.
I think so.
I could see him as a mentor. It may not happen, but let's say he's a director or producer of film. He would be a good mentor to some of these young actors that need to get their head on straight because one, he lived it. Because I remember him as a young actor in the 80s. I remember him in the teen. He was doing the teen flicks in the 80s like a lot of other people were. But like you said, Commander, he made wrong choices that derailed him. but he found his way to do that and was able to, whether you want to call it a comeback, you can call it whatever you want, but really able to survive that and create this character on screen that's now a classic, a beloved character. So
Yep.
you're right. Yeah, he can, like you said, Trooper. He can speak it because he's a man who's lived life, but he's not hiding that. There's no self-righteousness with him. He's totally open about it.
Like I said, a learned man. He's
Well,
He's
yeah.
had real world experience.
And,
he has his own hero's journey in a way.
and here's the thing: like a lot of these actors were not at their high point in acting. I mean, I can tell you in terms of Chris Evans and his filmography. I mean, he had been in films that I would never watch.
Not another teen
Never
movie.
well, no, there's gosh, there's that one horrible.
I
film.
remember that, Wolf.
Like there's this one horrible
My
film
love goes that deep.
that tries to be like X-Men, and it's not. It's I forget what it's called. I'd have to go look. I'd have to go looking for it on
I
on
have
his
no.
filmography. It's this horrible film, and it just reminds me of something like, okay, I don't know if anyone ever watched Clock Stoppers, but it was like
Oh yeah.
it was like a
Yeah.
trashy B-list film that kind of comes across as wanting to be imitation X-Men. And we're not even talking about him playing Torch. I mean, that was a failed film. You know,
Mhm.
technically, if he was such a magnanimous star, he would have been able to freaking pull Fantastic Four out of that ditch. So
Mhm.
again,
I have no
And Jessica,
guys.
and Jessica Alba was no help either.
No,
well,
she
was
wasn't.
just there. She was just there to be in a cat suit. Let's be real. And I don't have any problems with that. I mean, that was a pretty nice suit. But
Of course.
I have no problems admitting that my baby has been in some of the stupidest films in the 90s you could ever imagine. Don't get me wrong. I will admit that. I know no shame, even with Fantastic Four, even though in Silver Surfer that scene him coming out the shower is pure paradise for me. But still, I will admit that I will admit he was in a lot of crappy stuff, even though in that movie with Anna Faris, him kind of half naked kind of was very entertaining to look at. But I'm female, that was nice.
Push. It was Push. That's what it was.
Yep,
It was
push. Push
Yep.
came after Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
Then Push. Yep. That then came Push. You're right. And
As soon as you said, I was like, "Yep, that was." I was like, "Wait a minute, he was in something that
Yeah,
was."
and then he
regarded
was
as like a
Casey
poor man's
Jones
X-Men.
in TMNT.
yeah, a poor man's X-Men. That's I
So,
call
I mean,
it that
all-
too.
Yeah,
I called
so-
that I called Push the X-Men wannabe, and then True Brother, you get it
Mhm.
here. I called you guys called that really good because that's the same thing when I saw it. I said, well, it's just an X-Men wannabe, but I agree with Trooper. He wasn't on the level of RDJ. He really wasn't.
Good
I
job,
have
Chris
no-
P. Hey, real quick, guys. Chris P, good to see you as always, dude. I know it's hard. I know it's never easy to make it to my streams, but I always appreciate when you do show up. He's been here since Jump, but he's been pretty absent here and there. But when he does show up, he does show up. So Chris P, good to see you again, boy. Age, nice hat.
Mm.
I'm just gonna say real quick. The only thing I was gonna say is, I will admit that he has not been in the best of films. So really, he should be. Thank you, Neil Star. So he should be grateful for getting Steve Rogers because that is the role that really and truly got him to the status that he is now. Because a lot of kids younger than me do not know of those past films; they just only know him as Steve Rogers. It's like there's Luke Skywalker to them. So he should be grateful. So what I'm saying is, even though I love him, if I ever hear an interview of him. He's doing an interview now and he trashes on getting Steve Rogers. I will personally find it myself and beat it in him. You should be grateful of that role because you after the Silver Surfer, no one was hiring him for anything. So he should be. I agree with you what you were saying, Trooper.
And stop flashing your wang in front of ladies, Thompson. Protect that poo poo.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
There was a controversy.
It was
a brief mishap.
That was an accident.
It was a brief mishap. I know.
That was not an accident. that's just like Janet Jackson and her little lapel thing or her little pasty. There's
Just hit the
there's no
wrong
accents
button.
in Hollywood.
Like,
Like,
yeah,
That was
the
a
wardrobe malfunction.
oh
was
yeah,
almost
yeah,
a-
yeah, yeah.
that was
It's always
also
a
a
malfunction. It's never
DSP moment.
intentional. But yeah. Yeah, a lot of these actors, when we were going into like the Paramount phase of MCU, I mean, they weren't. I mean, they got these actors, bottom dollar, fish in a barrel. I mean, if this thing if this thing ever paid off, it was going to pay off in like leaps and bounds. Like, and of course it did, because I mean, they got everybody to go to Endgame, and now there's
Right.
several streams that complain about Endgame, but to
Mhm.
go back from that,
Right.
I mean, that's how these actors were brought in. Hey, if this pays off, there's probably a bigger payoff, and that's how it went. Because even in looking at Incredible Hulk, that end teaser, if you go and you look at some of these interviews, like RDJ will tell you also that he wasn't sure where this was going, but he was more than happy to do a teaser that implied that he was going to be Iron Man, and then next thing we know, we got an Iron Man film, and of course from there it just kind of built up. But
Well,
I am Iron Man.
he had a right to have, to me, a bigger salary, because I think of all the people in that cast. He first of all, he is talented. If you have not seen any of his other movies, you have to. There's something there. But I think he had the right to, because to me, of that cast, he is the one that was the most versatile of actors, because as Brian said, he already lived it. He already lived a life. He already did as many films, been acting since he was a kid.
Anybody familiar with that one movie where he has to defend a judge for manslaughter?
No, but it's
I forgot the title of it.
But
I
it's
know what
making
you're
me
talking
watch Sherlock Holmes, because I always stick that.
I
with
love
the
those.
I always stick that with the Universal Monsters films that I have, because I mean, Sherlock Holmes, the character himself, is public use, so I can get away with saying that Warner Brothers version of Sherlock Holmes would be paired up with Wolfman somehow.
That would have been kind of cool. I liked
If you wanted to
Downey's
do-
take on the character.
If you wanted to do Wolf of Baskervilles,
Yeah,
on that front to
but
make
yeah,
it
in terms of like not
thank you, Chris.
apologizing, yeah,
The
in terms of
judge.
in terms of not apologizing, getting back to John Cena, so like not to kind of go too far without coming back to what we were all getting at.
So,
none of these
let me
actors ever
run
got out
down-
there and were like, "Oh, we're so sorry," and I
quick,
not
as, quick aside.
Yes, Neil Star.
Let me give a quick aside real quick. More than just that, in Scott Pilgrim, Neil Star, you had Superman in there too. You had Captain Marvel in there.
Yes.
You had Captain America.
Yeah, Brie Larson.
Yes.
Yeah. I was about to tell you to shut up, Brian. My bad.
Shut up, Brian. Shut up, Leslie. Shut up, Leslie.
Oh no. But who else was in there that now has been a superhero movie at this point?
Yeah. I think you named him. If I'm forgetting, somebody brings up. If I'm
Oh
forgetting.
yeah, freaking dare I say it? Huntress is now in there.
Oh goodness.
Yep. Huntress was in Birds of Prey. Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who was also in Death Proof. She was in that shoddy prequel to the Thing movie too as well.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah.
Now you could say Huntress was also in there, so we got two harpies in there now.
But in terms of
not to say that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is a harpy in real life. I don't know what she's pushing these days, or at least she's probably keeping her mouth shut, keeping herself to herself. Which good if she is. But she played a harpy in a harpy movie, so like I said, I'm only attacking the character she played, not her per se. Now Brie Larson, she's a real harpy, but
look.
Anybody shocked about that? Oh yeah, Chris P mentioned that we had the Punisher there, and what's his face? He played another movie that was recognizable too, but we're not gonna get into that. Let's move on. So we have 5 superheroes in a comic book movie.
Yeah,
that's crazy. That's really crazy. Thank you.
In terms of not.
Oh, and the director almost directed the Ant-Man movie originally.
Yeah. What was it? I saw a comment, and not in this particular stream, but it just reminds me of a comment. Now that we're back on the MCU thing, where a lot of people have this perception that Doctor Strange 2 is somehow supposed to be a horror film. It's not, because we already know Feige more or less said it's going to be kid friendly, and
Yes.
Oh, good
and
Lord.
we lost the original director, Doctor Strange, to I think Sam Raimi. I think.
Yeah. But now I'm seeing see why that director dropped out. But continue.
Yeah. So you know,
I thought he died. Boy, don't scare me.
In terms of not apologizing, goes along the same vein. You can have opposing views, and if it's something you don't want to do, don't be coerced into it. You know, again,
Exactly.
you know, directors,
Yep.
saying,
Stick up
hey,
for
you know
yourself.
what, this isn't my vision of what I want for Doctor Strange in terms of going into the second film, which, yes, you know, Doctor Strange is one of those characters that goes into all these psychedelic realms, and of course is a you know, he's, you know, the Wizard of Weird, if you will. He deals with the weirdness,
Right.
and we didn't really get a
Exactly.
lot of that. It kind of hinted at it in the first film. We were probably going to get more of that in this film, but I don't know what we're going to get. We're going to get a mismatch. Like, it's going to be the last appearance of Tom Holland that we know of before he goes to Sony proper.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Right.
Wanda's going to be in it. I don't know what Elizabeth Olsen's contract looks like. I mean, she pretty much already did WandaVision, so I'm pretty sure she fulfilled all her contractual obligations. I'm pretty sure she can go on and do other stuff if she wants. I don't know that the MCU, I'm kind of 50-50 as far as what the MCU did for some of these actors, like whether it was a good thing or a bad thing. You know, when it comes to, say, like Paul Bettany, when it comes to Elizabeth Olsen, and when it comes to Sebastian Stan, like, depending on how you look at this stuff, especially with Sebastian Stan, you know, did it hurt him or did it make him more accessible to doing more work?
I think, and I'll hold you there for a second. I'll let you go on. For Sebastian Stan, I think the movies helped him. The Falcon and the Winter Soldier hurt him.
I think so
That's
too.
that's me. The movies,
Yeah.
were great for him. The guy was on his way, because I believe, this is my theory, I could be wrong, I do believe he was on his way to being the next Captain America. But you know, Kevin Feige got in bed with the woke and caught the woke STD and took it
That's
away
the only
from
thing
him.
he got in bed with.
Yes.
She has
Brian.
goblin feet, from what I've seen. I mean, there's pictures of her feet out there. It's not worth it. It's not worth it.
Good. I do
Bree, if
believe-
you're listening, you know, put a razor to the feet. You know, us guys, we don't like hairy feet. We don't.
Oh God.
We just don't. And I know some of you girls have that problem. I know you guys say you don't, but you do. So.
Yeah, exactly. He did that, and I think he took it away from him. He took away a chance. He took it. People think, oh no, yes, Kevin Feige took it away from him.
Yeah,
he was on that. That was where he was heading. He was heading in that direction to be the next Cap after Chris Evans. But Kevin Feige took it away from him and reduced him to practically nothing. So what hurt him, to me, was the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I talk to Sebastian Stan fans, and they hate me for saying that, but I tell them, look, I like the guy too. I think the guy is talented. I think he's sexy, but I think that show has hurt him. I think it's hurting.
I honestly think it, as far as like branding and stuff like that, in terms of Kevin Feige, I think in the long run it will hurt him, because from my view, when, you know, he was, you know, throughout the acquisition of Disney from Paramount and all this stuff, me personally, I thought he was on the trajectory of being the next Iger,
and they want
if you will,
him to run Star Wars,
or Chapek, if you will. Like, he was going to be at the very top. Like, this was going to be the guy that was going to go ahead and catapult these brands for the next 50 years. And
bro, I'm sitting here thinking like quoting the Kurgan from Highlander. And you know, me and Kathleen Kennedy will be in that room together, and she offers up Kevin Feige the chance to run Star Wars, and I say, and I'll be like, he cares for these properties. Yes, he lift Marvel out from the brink of bankroll.
Oh yeah, I mean, they're always going to hone in on that.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to hone in on that. I mean,
Wolf is right.
Then I'll answer.
To the wolf.
then I'll answer, I will be his undoing.
Well, the other thing.
I have something to say. It's better to burn than to fade away.
I brought this up in private, but now that we're live, and we're definitely at the bottom of the second hour. We can go back as far as Incredible Hulk. I mean, in terms of Ed Norton, it would have been a very different Avengers if you think about it, because that film, like I said, that film stands out. Everything after that is very cartoony almost. So again,
but see, that's why. Then I'm sorry, Trooper. I'll get back to you're right until we kind of get to the first. If you're talking about Phase 1, until we get to the first Avenger movie, when we did the rewatch, and then I explained why that first Avenger movie is my favorite of the solo films of Phase 1 because the director, he slips my mind. I know who he is. Whoever the team that worked on that film took
Joss Whedon.
Yeah,
it wasn't Joss Whedon. I'm talking about not the Avengers, but the Captain America first Avenger, Brian. Captain America.
You're gonna make me look for stuff, aren't you?
The directors of the
You don't have to, fool.
Yeah, you don't.
No, but it's stuff that you inevitably end up having to discuss. Yeah. Go for it.
I think Brian, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now.
Oh, okay. Who's the director of the first Avenger? Does Mr.
Working
Director?
on it right now.
Oh, okay. I'll just say when we got to that one was
Don't worry. Don't worry. Somebody helped us out.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, Brian's gonna be guy in the chair.
Joe Johnston.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ryan and Chris Preet. Thank you. When we got Trooper, I agree with what you're saying until we got to Captain America First Avenger. Maybe that's the reason why I loved it so much when we did this in the rewatch is because Joe Johnston took it seriously. He took the Richard Donner route
with the
first Avenger movie. But I get what you're saying about the other ones after Hulk. I follow you.
Well, the thing is, he has a very particular style. I mean, if you look at October Sky or you look at The Rocketeer, heck, you can even look at Jumanji, and you can look at any of his films, just like Tim Burton, and you know that it's a Joe Johnston film. That's the thing. But
Dude, what time you say October Sky? I keep thinking Vanilla Sky.
No. Yeah, well, no, I know. I mean, it again. Tom Cruise is just everywhere. So whenever you're looking remotely Tom Cruise, like you hone in on that. Again, it's branding more or less. But
I even like the director who directed the first Thor because I like that he brought. I know who that is.
I kind of wish I would have been in there for him to change the end fight scene.
Yeah, I get you. Yes, I agree with you.
Look, this is all he needed to do was that when Thor said, "Earth is my home now," lightning should have struck right there. Not no recreation of the end fight scene of the Matrix.
Yeah,
where he kisses him and he miraculously comes back to life. I was like, bro, you just ripped out the Matrix, and I don't even like the way how you handle this whole humility thing. He didn't stay on Earth because he fell in love. He stayed on Earth because him and Skarsgård had a gentle understanding of Asgard's magic versus Earth's technology, I'm pretty sure in my rewrite I did have a rewrite for Thor near the middle, not necessarily in the beginning, the middle, and the end. So one area here's the thing. One area I would have put into where they had that fire at that house, right?
Yeah.
But he sees that Jane runs in to help people, which we get to see Natalie Portman actually do something in these freaking films.
I wish she wasn't. I wish she wasn't.
Smaller farts.
She was the worst. The most intolerable thing about that film was her. But go ahead, Commander. I'll get on her in a minute. But go ahead.
Well, yeah, she was there for
so
Patty
boring in every film she's in.
Yeah, she is. I agree with you, Brian. She did not act with Chris Hemsworth.
Can I finish, everybody?
But I mean, she was in Phantom Menace.
Can I finish, everybody?
No, you may not. So
yes, I may.
So after Phantom Menace, she never had to work. That's what I'm getting at. She never had to work after Phantom Menace. Look, she's still making money off that.
Yep. But anyways, what I was gonna say was he sees Jane going and help people as well. And I'm piggybacking off
Yeah.
of Jane from Earth's Mightiest Heroes, by the way.
Right.
Okay. All right.
That's where Thor looks at her and he says, "Why did you go out and help? You don't have no powers. You don't have no strength. You don't even have any magic with you." And she, you get that that corny speech about I don't need
Yeah.
this. I don't really have to know that like I was raised by my family to help. It's kind of like the whole Christopher Reeve Superman spiel, right?
Yes.
And that's what gives him pause as to how he's been thinking about recovering his powers, or how he's been trying to recover Mjolnir. He realizes that it's where he realizes that he is the weak one, not her, because he's going around looking to get some power back, just to be the Thor that he was when he got kicked out of Asgard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's going there for
Mhm.
selfish reason, where this woman did something very selflessly.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
So that will set him on the arc and the path of him serving his kingdom righteously and selflessly. And that's where you get that message where he talks to Loki. He says you can have it. You can have it all. Earth is my home now. Boom, boom. And then you get you get the powers back, and that's where he fights the destroyer. Not no,
Good.
not
But
no,
again,
not no. You see, I don't believe you're dead. Now get up.
well, it's one of those things where we would like to inject some narrative into some of these weak scripts. Like, I mean, no, realistically, I mean, you look at the first Thor film, and then you look at Dark World, and then you look at Ragnarok, and it's like you start seeing a progression of, hey, these scripts are actually might somewhat maybe sort of, but not really improving. So,
Mhm.
I agree.
and it's all in the delivery. I don't think Thor as a character was really. I'm not going to say he was not taken seriously. Obviously, I mean it was produced.
He was taken seriously for a while, and
Yeah.
then they get off. But go ahead. I'm listening.
Well, at the same time, I think with Ragnarok, I mean, with Ragnarok being the last film, and in the context of where this movie comes in terms of like the last phase of this franchise before we get into the next decade, which is not for anyone in this stream, and definitely not for any of the four of us, because we already know where we stand.
Totally agree, Star.
Me too, Neostar.
Yep. But
Yeah,
yeah.
Loki gets to keep his helmet despite how ridiculous that thing looks.
Well, I honestly,
I argued that with a coworker a few
here's my
times.
thing.
He's
Here's
like,
my
yeah, but it looks so ridiculous.
I don't honestly think that I don't honestly think they thought Ragnarok was going to blow up the way that it did, and that's why he's getting a fourth film. Because I mean, look at all these other main tentpole actors. If we look at our main three, which are Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America, like who else is getting a subsequent film? So far, the oddball out is Thor.
Yeah.
And supposedly we're getting a Captain America film, but I don't know what that's going to look like.
It's Black Falcon.
Yeah, we do know that it's going to be
Affirmative action, America.
Yeah, we do know. Yeah, we do know that it's going to be subsequently the D plus writer who's coming back to write that script. So,
right.
Falcon with guest star Winter Soldier.
Yes.
Yep.
Thank you. Yes, thank you, Brian.
In terms of not apologizing, I mean, now granted, I'm not going to pick too much. I'm not going to pick too much on, Terrence Howard, but I mean, the thing is with any, anything about not apologizing. I mean, obviously he had enough conviction to say, hey, you know what? If I'm going to be in these films, you got to pay me. There's nothing wrong with saying that. If your employer says, hey, you know what? You're not worth your salt. Get out.
Fuck you. Pay me.
Yes,
at that point,
I agree.
go do something else.
Yep.
And that's exactly
You
what
pay
he did.
me. Yep.
That's exactly what he did. So, I mean, in this life, you have to have conviction, whatever you believe. Unfortunately, even if you're woke, you still have to believe what you more or less believe, but you have to have some sound facts and figures and numbers. Again, it's never about winning the argument. It's about presenting an argument that's appealing and sound to the person who's actually overhearing, because you're never really out to win a debate. When
Nope.
especially getting in front of a class in communications. I don't have a problem speaking in front of people, because I mean, most people they get this anxiety that they're more or less being scrutinized. It's like that may be true,
Yep.
but it's like, hey, they don't determine your grade. The
Or on
professor
the same, yeah, or on the same
and you
token,
do.
yeah,
So
you have people that are trying to shame them for having an opinion.
yeah, and
Right.
that's
Yeah.
what you're seeing a lot
You
now.
know,
You're
it's more
seeing
like crucified.
well,
Yeah.
that too, because we've gotten to that point where if you don't push back, guess what? You can be crucified. So
It's
And
the
then you
hyena world. I'm telling you, it's the world of hyenas. The hyenas will try to jump
Scavengers.
at you down, jump, not necessarily scavengers, Brian, but once they see you as a threat, they chomp at you. They will chomp at you
They,
by the numbers, and it's by the numbers of weak people. Because
yep. Like
the moment you
sharks, they
stand
smell
up,
blood in the water.
yeah,
well, yeah. I mean, let's if we want to keep it Disney, okay. So what about when freaking Simba wanders off too far? And suddenly the hyenas
hmm
show up. You
yep,
know, he's in a bad situation. Who literally comes to the rescue? Simba
Mhm.
can't get out of it by himself. It's like Mufasa shows up out of nowhere. So,
hmm
so, but
but it
not because he was a helicopter dad, but
nope,
because he was a responsible dad.
right.
yep,
I agree.
Right.
That's the key. But I was also going to say, when you talk about convictions, you have those that have convictions, but they're not strong convictions. It means they're easily swayed. They may go in there stopping, but whether it be money, whether it be fame, whether it be a role, whether it be, they're easily swayed. Anthony Mackie, when they're easily swayed by a title, and those convictions drop or they change them. And you have
Yeah.
actors that are like that right now. Anthony Mackie again. You have straight.
I had so much respect for Mackie,
I
so
had
much
respect.
respect.
I'm like you. Same with Wolf. When he first came into the MCU, he was not like this. He was. I had a lot of
We're gonna have
respect
to
for him.
cancel 8 Mile now. We're just gonna have to cancel it.
Yes, because
No,
because
no,
according,
I'm gonna continue watching 8 Mile because we all know what happens at the end of 8 Mile.
but Anthony
Well,
Mackie says that wasn't that. No, that role doesn't matter. It's being Black Captain America that's now made him who he is. And
Man,
he's
Eminem
gotten
put you
too.
in his
no.
Eminem put your ass
Remember, life
in
started
your
in
place.
2010. That happened in 2002, so that movie did not happen.
hmm
According to according to Schooner Logic, if you go by Schooner Logic, which is very sound and based
Yes,
in
yes,
fact, if you go
hmm
past 2010, it did not happen.
you're right. You're right,
Sorry,
and that is the
Schooner.
way.
If you're watching in the rewatch, what's up, bro?
Then again, I can't watch 8 Mile either because even Eminem has lost his mind too,
Oh yeah.
somewhat.
Well, they all did. Well, they all did because, of course,
That's the point that I
that's the
was.
whole point that makes money. Like the go along to get along. Granted, and I even said this to you before everyone jumped in the chat while we were still in the green room. I was a popular kid. Like I
hmm
like
Mhm.
when it comes to schoolyard, when schoolyard food chain, it's like either you're with a consensus or you're not with a consensus. And if you are in the position of being able to form the consensus, you've got it made. And all you got to do is just make sure you parrot the opinion of the dude like above you. So I mean, whether that be campus quarterback, you know, you know, for me, it just happened to be campus quarterback because him and I were in student council. So it's like all I had to do was pretty much go along with that. I mean, privately, I could disagree, or I could be like, "Nah, he's an idiot." But in terms of schoolyard politics, if he's my bro, and oh yeah, no, dude, let's go, let's go party. It's like, all right, cool. Who's got the bigger house? So again, it's like we're seeing this play out in live time with Hollywood, definitely in politics. Um, Whatever you believe in politics, but the very end of it, to make a fine point on this, you have to at least have an opinion. It's like stealing is bad, and I said that before in other streams. Stealing is bad. Being nice is good. Being respectful to females is good. Certain basic principles that come with moral psychology that say that throughout civilizations in other societies, basic moral tenets always seem to be in place because that's how we tribalize within our own little community. We know what's good, we know what's bad. Simple as that. Stealing is bad. Well, I can't feed my family. Learn, learn to fish. Learn a trade.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well, I agree, and like I said, and along with you, State Trooper, it's what are your values? What do you stand for? Do you stand something for you truly believe it, or do you stand for something because, that's just the way Hollywood is going right now? And it's true, Commander. I do know there are those out there that have to go with the wind in order to eat, in order to survive. I get that too, so I don't hate them too. But then you have
I'm bringing that up because there's a part of me and Trooper. I know you got something to counter that. Because I know you love that counterpoint, but there's some part of me that's hoping that eventually they'll realize that this ain't worth their their dignity, their integrity. They can see what has turned them, but that's just me being hopeful, like just woefully hopeful.
You used a key word there, dignity. That's a word that you're not hearing much often.
Hopefulness comes from. I mean, because you do have a sense of dignity. That's why you have that sense of hopefulness. But my counter to that is you can't project your own good qualities onto someone else until they actually show you who they are. That's when you can gauge them for who they are as a person.
Right.
And, with what we've seen so far is that in order to have a career,
I definitely do believe Spider-Man should be gay.
Exactly. Yes.
Actually, I'm gonna side with Andy Garfield on this one, and I call him Andy just because I've known too many dudes named Drew or Andy. But I gotta side with Andy Garfield on this one. Like, look, if there is a good script, I don't see why not. Because a good script is not going to focus on that. It's just not. It's going to focus on the villain.
Yeah.
And granted, Stan Lee, just like Toho, had a line of requisites of how this is like the formula for Spider-Man. In order for Spider-Man to be Spider-Man, this is a formula. It's like he's literally giving you the recipe for a successful version of Spider-Man. And he always has a Mary Jane. And he's always straight. But Andy Garfield was asked the question and he answered it honestly. There's nothing wrong with portraying a different version of that. And because, just like any other freaking comic book nerd, he knows there's a multiverse out there. So yes, there is a multiverse version of that out there. But again, these hyenas are just wanting to get a acceptable response. Is that to me an acceptable response? Yeah, if I'm looking at it within the comic book context. But like all these mainstream weirdos that focus on see, he's woke, he's one of us. It's like, no, not really. I mean, if you think about it, all these heroes, we don't focus in on the fact that they sleep with, especially Tony Stark, that he sleeps with anything that has a skirt. But we focus in on the fact that at the very end of the day, regardless of where they're coming from in terms of how they got to be a hero, they're still a hero by the end of the film.
Yeah,
that's obviously changing now because now we're using activists to portray our heroes or to portray.
Right.
I wouldn't even call Snow White a hero.
I bring up Holland. I bring up Holland because he's the biggest bend over that I've been noticing so far. He look. Props to him for visiting 6 children in Spider-Man suit, doing his little gymnastic acrobatics and whatnot. Props to him on that one. But like hearing him saying, "Yeah, I think Spider-Man should be gay," I'm like, bruh, time and place.
Well, I mean, if you're talking to an SJW audience, again, I'm gonna side with Tom on this one too because
okay,
sure, why not? But is it going to make money? No, it's not. We know that. We know that. We absolutely know it's not going to make money. Do we need to have every?
Yeah, she revoked her conservatism, Victoria.
Absolutely not. But looking at it within context, I mean, there was a big rumor, hey, is Tom Holland, finally gonna, is he out of the MCU? Is he out of the MCU? You know, and coming to Twitter posts, you saw the RDJ Tom Holland tweet with their little action figures tweeting, "We did it." So really, who's the winner in the conversation? Is it Tom Holland because he gave them what they wanted to hear, or is it Tom Holland because not only did he successfully hold out to the point where he gets to have his trilogy within the MCU and then subsequently go to Sony and have a separate trilogy, or is it the aha gotcha moment?
Mm.
So who's really the winner there? I would say Tom Holland is the winner there because he walked away with a contract that he wanted.
Mhm.
And at the same time, he served them their answer on a platter. In terms of, is that making the problem better or worse? It probably is making the problem worse. But at the very end of the day, these people are going to corner you regardless, and that comes down to all these shill YouTube creators. That comes down to all these shill entertainment pop culture critics, because they all want their access to the backstage pass so they can give you the skinny on the new Nubia film, being portrayed by a by indigenous person of color, all that
Who's
stuff.
not female, but she's non-binary.
Yeah, no,
No.
I do agree with your point, and I'll underscore that in the sense of that probably was not the best answer, but I mean, what other answer could he have given without being
Mhm.
crucified and then having to lose his entire contract? On top of that, just because someone with an agenda decided to, pop the question. Because again, with a lot of these celebrities, they get asked a question, they got to answer it a certain way. It's the same thing with Scarlett Johansson. I mean, I don't want to bang on her too hard for her comments on female oppression, but my whole opinion on that, and I left a nice little post, but my opinion on that is, if you feel so suppressed in one of the best nations globally, in the first world, why don't you move to Jordan? Why don't you move to Saudi Arabia? Why don't you move to Egypt?
Yep.
Why don't you don your little hood, and have to dress all the way down to your ankles in 100-degree heat?
Because they have no conviction. That's why.
If you want to
Like
wear
you
your
guys
little,
said earlier.
yeah, like you want to wear your two-piece, and you want to have
Speaking of
pictures taken of you by the Inquirer. How is that suppression? You're
speaking
literally,
of such, I have to bring this up.
yeah.
I've said this time and time again. Especially this is now my my word towards feminism. If you really want me to take you serious, go to the Middle East and change and see if you can change the way how they treat their women.
Yep.
Good.
Sorry.
That's
Yes.
Bring a lunch.
I'm
It'll be an
just-
all-day job.
Look,
I'm
Yes.
just
look,
reading.
that's
I think
the
they should do that.
comment. That's hilarious.
look, that's the only way I will ever say that I can take feminism seriously, if they achieved any peace with the way how the Middle East treat their women, because they still do, despite we have a Muslim feminist. I'm like, yeah, right. Why is she still wearing her hijab? Why is she still wearing her
Yep.
wearing her burqa,
Yep.
or
See,
any clothing or any body? Like if she's supposed to be a Muslim, let's just say this: if she's supposed to be a Muslim
Yeah.
feminist, why is she still wearing her hijab?
Yeah. I quote the meme on this one.
Yeah.
Tits or get the fuck out.
Well, it's really funny. I'm just looking at this comment from Melissa about laughing gas. In terms of Britney, a lot of what was going on during the teen pop stuff couldn't be done now, because remember all that
Mhm.
ridicule about she might have had work done on her chest. Of course she had work on her
Slut,
chest.
slut, bimbo, slut, bimbo.
That was the image she sold.
Yeah. What
Yep.
chest remains perfectly intact when you're gyrating in front of a camera? I mean, one, you're not doing anything to progress women in a positive light. Now you're just in a schoolyard uniform, Oh,
Oh, baby, I'm acting bimbo.
giving the
Uh-huh.
wrong man the wrong impression. That's how I'll list it. But
Mhm.
Yeah, that
It's
was
no,
not the
I got
woman's fault. He should not be thinking her that way as a piece of meat.
yeah.
but that is
So,
the image she projected when she
but
was on the
again,
MTV Awards.
women are suppressed in
Jailbait.
2021, so that's why
Yep.
films like Black Widow couldn't be made during the Paramount run. I'm like, get off with that rhetoric. I'm like,
We
I'm
had
like,
worried
Atomic
about.
Blonde.
Yeah.
Geniuses.
oh, Atomic Blonde was just as horrible. I mean, Charlize trying to take out a dude with a shoe. I don't buy that. I don't buy that.
Ignore the damn shoe
Yep.
for a
Like,
minute.
if
I'm just saying.
it had, like, a little
It's
button
the
where
points.
it starts out, I might believe it. Like,
The
I might
point still stands. We're still getting those type of movies like even Proud Mary. Even though I'm with Trooper on that one. Like Taraji P being a freaking gun for hire. Really, that's what you're trying to sell me.
I mean,
I'm ready
I
to
didn't
buy.
buy it either.
I'm ready to buy Pam Grier, as old as she is, being Proud Mary. Not Taraji P. Taraji P trying to look like Pam Grier in that movie. That was freaking hilarious.
Yes, I agree with you,
Look,
Commander.
It's really
much
funny.
respect to.
I popped out Jackie Brown to watch it tonight. So it's real
Mhm,
funny that
mhm,
you bring out
mhm.
Pam Grier, because I always thought, in terms of Pam Grier and in terms of her like career, and I'm gonna get all woke, being a woman of color, to see her do
Oh,
some of
man.
the most, what's the best word? I don't want to say eclectic, but doing some of the, I'll even go as far as say groundbreaking. Doing groundbreaking stuff during times where women weren't really seen that way. I mean, to me, movies like Coffee are timeless, because you're not going to get that again. Movies
Never.
like Jackie Brown, you're not going to
Nope.
get again.
She's gonna next woman that do that. She's gonna have that puffball hairdo, and I'm really getting sick and tired of seeing that hairdo all over the
Well,
damn place.
I mean, look at
Same
freaking
thing
how,
with the brush hair for the boys.
yeah.
Exactly.
But I mean,
That ain't no flat top. That's a brush head. That's a
Yeah.
you ain't no flat top. You a toothbrush.
Yeah.
but so
Don't
when we
forget the
look at
half
this
shaven
kind of
head
stuff,
too.
when we
See,
look
I
at
was
that
willing
kind
to
of
roll with
stuff,
the shaving head because I was like, yeah, we're going to the cyberpunk times. Okay, let's do that. Cyberpunk hair, let's do that. You want to rock the cyberpunk hair on the red carpet? Go on, do that. Now it's like
I mean,
they done hijacked it. I'm like, oh
sometimes you
no.
do have to court controversy to get your point across. But I mean, now that we're in 2021, I mean, it's all about controversy. And the thing is, it's not getting a point across. It's not about focusing on something that benefits people in the way of the improvement of society. If anything, I think we've gone away from that, especially in these pop culture films. Now we're just kind of injecting, well, this is what we want you to think.
Yep.
And I think that's very
It's not
dangerous.
preaching to the.
It's very
What
dangerous.
law is there to say I need to think like that?
It's very
Yeah, it's
dangerous.
like who died and
because
made you God to say that we should think
and-
like you.
That's the way. Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
Well,
that's
and
how
I'll
they
give you
treat
an
it.
example. So
Mhm.
I saw the and I hate to sound like a pop culture critic. I really do. Okay, so I saw the trailer for Karen, right? And I died laughing. I died laughing because obviously there were a few things that I was like, oh, they got that wrong. Oh, they got that wrong. Or they got that wrong. But then I watched it again and I'm like, this is supposed to be treated as a thriller, not a comedy. And I'm like, okay, there's a big cognitive like dissonance there. Because if someone like me sees comedy where, say, someone who is into the, changing the color on a anime strip to fit themselves, then that tells me that there is a chasm growing that is not good. And it definitely means that, we should be trying to, build bridges. No, I mean, we're past the building bridges. I think now we just need to focus on traditionalism when we talk about these things.
Mhm.
And if they
Mhm.
come around, that's great, because obviously I'm not going to win the political debate because facts no longer matter. Numbers no longer matter. But yeah, no, I'm watching that stuff. Oh, she put cameras on the side of her house. I know plenty of crazy females and crazy neighbors that I've dealt with throughout my lifetime that have done that. It's like, I guess. I thought it was funny. The Confederate perfume, I was like, okay, that's haha
What?
funny. I was like,
I
that's
heard
haha
about
funny.
that. I remember
Funny?
hearing
That's
about
haha
that.
funny. But it's
They just blanted with that, ain't they?
yeah.
That's why I'm. You know what, guys? It's time for another stereotype stream.
Yeah. But
Oh, yeah.
but case in
Yes.
That's
point,
gonna be good.
Especially after
case in
this
point
trailer.
about
Finally, he says his
apologizing,
line.
and in having a point and having convictions. If you do, then you see something like Karen and you laugh. But if you don't and you just go with the flow, that's a horror movie. That's a thriller. That's saying that a particular demographic is out to get you. And
You know what? I spoke too
that's
soon
very
about
bad.
horror not being woke. Damn.
Yeah, and the thing is, her last name, and I think I said this on the other stream. Her last name is Jewish, so I mean, automatically they
You
already
said it
got
in the
that
private
part
chat.
wrong. Yeah, they already got that part of the film wrong. So again, small technicalities. It should have been Karen Smith if you really wanted to go there. If you really want to push so that's how you know that Hollywood
Or
is just
you know
kinda
what? I
tiptoeing.
did
They're
mention.
tiptoeing around it.
I don't think that was on accident. I think that was really intentional. They were really.
It was very intentional. It was very
They
intentional.
considering what's the new hated hate group
Yeah.
that they have on their list, Jews now, like
Oh,
no
yeah.
no
Well,
her,
what it
her
is,
having a Jewish name,
honestly, what
that's
it
not
is.
accidental.
Well, honestly, what it is it's literally trying to associate one religious demographic with another. That's literally what it is.
Mhm.
It's literally saying, oh well,
We're not talking about Christians anymore. So what
well,
religion
yeah,
do we hate now?
it's the way of saying is Karen Drexler is the same as Karen Smith to a particular demographic whose lives do matter, obviously. But we gotta inject propaganda into it and stratify them from you know what we would consider popular culture. Again, it's we're turning it into a twisted vision of a horror film. And I personally thought it was very tongue in cheek. I still kind of want to see it because I know I'm going to probably be the only one laughing in the movie theater. But then they're going to be like, "Sir, you need to leave. This is a very serious matter." And I'll be like, "Confederate perfume. How can you not see that's freaking hilarious? It's Confederate perfume. You know what woman has Confederate perfume in their house? If
Why would the
anything,
Confederacy have perfume?
it's going to be something like Christian Dior. Or it's going to be something like, some outrageous overpriced, that smells like, weeds and flowers, which, if I'd rather you not smell like anything at all if you're going to smell like old lady stink, Probably the only old lady stink that I would even let slip is probably White Diamonds by Liz Taylor. That's probably the only one I would let slide because that actually smells like soap to me, right? So I don't mind if you smell like soap. At least you're telling me you take a shower.
At least you're
already
clean.
that already puts you above the other herd of crazy candidates. With
wash your ass. That's good to know.
Yeah, more or less. So yeah, don't apologize for having good hygiene. Don't apologize for having good hygiene.
I stopped apologizing for swearing a lot now, so you know where I'm at this point.
Yeah. So we look at these types of things, and kind of getting off pop culture a little bit, because we definitely talked about not apologizing,
especially when it comes to art too. We need to bring up the art aspect.
Right. Yeah, I mean, well, I think I told you in private that if you're not suffering for your art, it's not really art. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because art can be abstract, and sometimes it's too abstract. I mean, we saw that with a lot of films. I think I remember kind of keeping it within the context of this group and YouTube. I think I want to say Wolfman maybe was a little too abstract even for me because like in studying the film, I noticed that there were a lot of points within that narrative that most people would have kind of glossed over without really paying attention to it. Because again, I mean, it's supposed to be a pop culture film. They're trying to develop the dark universe, but they don't really have an anchoring moment. I mean, I think there is an anchoring moment in the film where, Benicio del Toro, transforms into the Wolfman, and then you got the flickering light, on his transformation. And that really kind of does resonate with the old Universal films. That should have been throughout the entire film. If we were going to go for a particular trope, then that's where we should have gone with it. But, when you make your art and you change it for somebody else, it's no longer your original creation. And we see a lot of that. We're not really seeing a lot of that in manga yet.
No.
But
No.
I mean, look at the murmurings within the manga community. It's like, these people are dumping money into manga in the hopes that, oh, well, if you want me to still give you money, I need you to change that character's background. So, and honestly, within manga, I don't ever think skin color was a thing within manga. I mean, manga is manga.
Never was.
But
No.
But I mean, if we're gonna go down this road of apologizing for your artwork, you're gonna start seeing a lot of these characters change, or put a reboot of a manga where it's Americanized, and hopefully that never happens. But yeah,
I know. I'm gonna add to what you're saying. Anybody, for those who are unfamiliar of Gumball, I'm using Gumball as an analogy. They went to one of the side characters' homes, and he invited them to his room, and they look into his storybooks or his books or whatever, right? And there's supposed to be these sort of actiony. There's context, by the way. There's a context to it. But I equate that to what they're trying to do when they reach manga, if they ever do get their hands on manga. But like in the books, it's all sunshines and rainbows. Duct taped into the to these books, and Gumball notices that like it's ruined. You know what I'm saying? Like these books are ruined. And he's like, what are you talking about? They're good books. My mom picked them out for me. Mind you, he's a giant Sasquatch.
right.
But in short, the context was that the mom knows that when the Sasquatch gets overly excited, he goes on a rampage, or he could potentially go into a rampage, which means he's so giant that he can wreck the whole town that they live in. But when you really look at it, and I'm not saying that this was intentional, mind you, but you can actually equate it to how we're going in the years to come. But like Gumball finally let loose what he thought. He said, your stuff is boring, man. It's boring. And that's where he lost his mind. Like
Right.
I'm not boring. He goes on the rampage just repeating, like, I'm not boring. Am I boring? Am I really boring? I'm not boring. And that's when the mom explains why she did what she did. But like when you really think about it, that's basically where we're heading. Something very boring. And overtly preachy and safe. Well, not safe in the way how we came about or came up on. And y'all know what I'm talking about. What I mean by safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm talking about
sanitized.
No fun. Yeah, safe, fun, vocalified, edited out, take away.
No. When we grew up, we were they're all about baby proof and everything, right?
Yes.
Safety guards, protecting you from the the power cord, the socket, whatnot. Keep you from hitting a boo boo. That's where we were growing up from, right? Whereas this one, it's like you can't look at a white girl, you can't look at a black man, you can't stare at a woman's boobs, you can't look at a woman's legs, you can't. They're protecting children from human contact, if you will.
Protecting them from growing up.
I'm saying that is way worse than what we had to deal with growing up in my generation. I mean, where we were just the baby proofers. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even back then, I did mention back then when car seats was even invented around that time where I was growing up, where you sat on somebody's lap when there was not enough room to sit everybody in the back seat, right? You know,
Exactly.
you're a little kid, you sat on somebody's lap, belt over both you and the passenger as well, holding you together and whatnot, or
Oh wow, yeah, that takes me back.
oh yeah,
In the good old days.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I barely remember that, but I do remember the seatbelt thing.
Yeah, or two kids share the front passenger seat.
Yes,
Put the seatbelt on both of them.
yes.
Or the littlest guy is always in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah.
put the little guy in the middle, sit some next to another kid. Put the whole seatbelt around both of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yup.
Like gone were the days of a time where we used to had that where we pretty much gorilla the shit out of our stuff.
Oh, yes.
I mean, I'm growing around a time where that was considered gorilla. When you want to go somewhere, like you ain't got a car seat, fuck that. We gonna send somebody left, and you gonna sit your ass still until the ride's over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or you know, like I said, if both of y'all want to ride the front seat, both of y'all share the front seat. Put the seatbelt on both of it. You know what I'm saying? Put the seatbelt on both of them. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Like these days now, it's like, oh, we just, scientists discovered that if we and they're right, but you remember the times when you put that one seatbelt that goes across your chest behind your back. Y'all remember that one?
Yeah. Yes.
Look, I
Oh,
put
yes.
that behind. Look, I put that behind me because I thought it was cool. I did not know that children did that because I was uncomfortable to them. I wasn't uncomfortable. I can wear a seatbelt across my chest just fine, but I thought I was being cool by putting that behind my back. Okay,
Yeah.
but yeah, y'all remember that. Y'all all remember that. What happened to those things that used to hold seatbelts now that make the children comfortable? Gone, completely gone. They used to advertise that. You don't see those no more. But
Nope. You don't see a lot of things
but
anymore.
that's where we're heading. I'm just saying, compared to what we were going through, what they're doing as far as baby proofing, it's way worse. Because at least when it came down to us baby proofing, that's more of a really serious safety issue where a child could potentially get killed rather than getting hurt.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This it's like being in the world of Land Before Time. 3 horns do not play with long necks. Y'all remember that?
Yes.
Penguins don't play with long necks.
So you're
Schooner's in there.
I was about to say, hey, Schooner. Now, what you gonna say, Leia?
Hey, Scooney. Oh, so the examples that you gave, you're equivalent to that now that we, in a symbolic way, we are locking everyone, the kids and everyone down. Well, you see it now. To me, now you can't,
literally as well as figuratively.
Yes, you can't draw a woman as a woman. You can't have a woman breasts, even though women do. You can't have hips. You can't have curvy. You can't show that. Oh, the male gaze. Oh, dear God. You can't take
They hate our artwork, that's for certain.
Yeah, that's one of the main things. You can't draw a woman as a woman. Just because you're drawing a woman as a woman doesn't mean it's sexualized. These fools don't know what sexualized versus just art really is. They don't, because they yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, what happens is they conflate idealization and sexualization when they're very different things. The only crossover they have is that it's women looking, attractive.
I agree 100%. I agree 100%. Basically, what Brian said, you can't draw a woman attractive or beautiful or even sexy. No. And I think it's...
Sorry, Leia.
My avatar is triggering somebody right now.
I think yes.
Sorry, Larry. Continue what you're saying. I wanted to piggyback off of what you're saying, but go ahead.
Yeah, even now, as a,
Behind you.
The fuck are you doing?
Look,
What is it? What?
Schooner's listening to
He
us
just
while he's
said-
driving
I
home,
just said-
right? And I'm like, Schooner, look behind you.
I was like, what is he?
It's like, don't look behind you. You won't like the view, Schooner.
Yeah, right.
Man, I'm scaring sound engraver with my swearing.
Sort of like scream. I'll be right back. No, you won't, Schooner. No, you won't.
Mhm,
I just
mhm.
threw it up there. I'm like, Trooper, my God, you all right over there?
Bro,
Oh,
I
man.
thought there was something wrong with your mic.
That was a creepy whisper. I'm not
Sure
gonna lie
was,
there, man.
yeah.
I mean, he nailed it, but
Like,
what I'm saying
oh,
was
no.
like, what are you doing? Like apparently you scared everybody else, but not me. I'm just looking at like, dude, what are you doing?
Right.
What's
Excuse me. I was like, it's
funny
Trooper
as all
up there?
hell, though.
Yeah, it was because they were screaming like, Trooper, you all right? There's nothing in your tea, is it? Because it's
No, I'm on Perrier now. I went through
Oh.
one Powerade. I already had my coffee this morning, so I'm coming down on Perrier. So
wrong
We
thing
all
to
come
say.
down on something.
strawberry essence Perrier.
I just have a regular Coca-Cola right now, but I
Yep.
haven't had one in a while. It's because it's hot where I'm in here in Michigan today. So I'm
Oh,
just
I know. It's freaking hot. Like I had to go
Lady,
like,
you are at the
back
top of the world. Of course you're gonna be hot.
all the way
Yeah.
to Bitterville. Oh my God, you poor
A
thing.
lot of sun up
I looked
there.
at that American. I looked at our American map and everything. I was like, oh my goodness, Leia's at the top of the
Yeah,
world.
like freaking Leia has to deal with a real Karen, like the Queen of Karens, like
yeah,
Super Karen.
Which Karen would that be?
Our Whitmer, our governor here.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah.
Political
yeah.
Karens are the worst.
Yeah,
Yes, those are absolutely.
I'm gonna
the
keep
worst.
you locked up forever. Well, my
Yes.
only worse than a female Karen, a male Karen.
What is a milk?
Oh, yeah.
Darren,
They're either a Kyle or a Darren, depending on
Coin
who
by
you ask.
Green. coined by Green Line Girl.
Mm. Well, you would have a Darren in your neck of the woods. I know I got a fat Darren in mine.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, mine
Mhm.
thinks he's like the big cheese. I'm like, bro, don't nobody know about you. Like that's
Bro,
a
I
crazy
got co-workers who are Darrens.
Yeah, like I don't know, like well, I gotta say this one from my fat Darren. Like he got two of his cronies into the Health and Human Services Department. So I was like, all right, I guess you must know people.
Oh,
So,
boy.
But
So he's
yeah,
got Bebop and Rocksteady in the human
Right.
services world.
Nice way of putting it.
Got it, bluff.
I've been on a Ninja
Nice
Turtle
way.
binge as of late, so go figure.
Oh, I gotta watch me some. I still have I gotta watch what is it, Batman and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Look,
I
they can
saw
have red pussyless Hulk. I'm gonna watch me some Tarna tonight.
Oh God, I saw that thing. I was just about to comment just on that. That red she-man Hulk is what I like to call it.
Well,
I saw that. I said, "What is that?"
I'm telling you,
Yes.
I'm telling you, like freaking if we were doing My Phase 5, I mean, that's what it would look like. I mean, you would have freaking Angela just coming in like full on Tarna, and everyone would be like, "Oh, you ripped that off." Trooper FN2 or Director Trooper FN2525 ripped that off Heavy Metal, but and I would be like, "Yeah, but you paid to see it, right?" Yeah. I'm like, well, then who won? I did. So
Heavy Metal. And
Oh, you need to say it with more gusto. You need to say more gusto. Sorry, Larry. Let me chime in real quick. Trooper has to say it with more gusto. Like, have you seen anything like that? No. Did you pay for it? No. Then shut up.
right.
Yeah.
You got to get Looney Tunes on them. Then shut up.
Yep.
I was just going to say that was another film. I said there's no way on God's green planet Heavy Metal would be done today, and I hope they do. God, they don't redo it. It doesn't need it because the music is the music is not around.
The title, they would run from it.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news.
Oh God, are they going to try?
They're doing it.
No, but their magazine is going through revisions.
Oh,
Tarna is no longer wearing her. Tarna is no
Oh
longer
yeah,
wearing her iconic outfit.
I knew they were going to get rid of her. I
Well,
knew
you
they
know-
were going to get
No,
rid
no,
of
they
her.
didn't get rid of her. They put her in a Sama suit.
Yeah,
got rid of her.
She's got a skin. She's got almost like a cat suit now. But here's the thing: it's like a lot of these.
Cat suit with
Give me
armor.
the zero.
Well,
Give
a
me the
lot of
zero suit any day.
Yeah.
a lot of these heroines went through that transformation anyway. I mean,
Yeah, true. It's
so,
really
I
nothing
mean, I
new,
know we
but
talked about this before. Like, was it Barbarella? You know, she
Mhm.
for a while there,
Yeah.
she was in tight suit, which is fine. I mean, again, I don't have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is when you like, you know, take her breast size down a few notches, and then you give her a pouch, you know, and then she's no longer Tarna. She's Tarnax, or Tarnix, if you will.
He's
Mhm.
Tarzan.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that was back to what I was just about to say with art and not allowing the female form to be joined, just what Brian so beautifully described about context and sexualization. They don't know the difference. And I think it's coming from women. And I want to say this, and to all the women who are listening to this stream, a lot of them are jealous that they don't have those kinds of looks. I'm just going to come out and say it. I know how they feel. I've been there. But putting down or taking away something just to make yourself feel better is the wrong way to go about doing it. And I think that's what a lot of this is they have, all right, I'm going to try to say it. I shouldn't try to apologize, but basically they have no breasts, or they're tiny tits, if I can say tits. They're
Yeah,
tiny.
I
I would
did.
say tits.
It ain't
I would
tickle
say
bitties.
tits on this.
It ain't tickle bitties.
They have tiny tits and no hips, and
Gumdrops.
and they're insecure. And so because they can't
Oh,
fit
yes,
into that,
definitely.
they're insecure about it. But instead of embracing their own beauty, they want to destroy others' form of beauty so theirs can shine and be the brightest.
Oh,
That's
and
not how you handle it. Just
Oh,
like
yeah,
and don't get me started on the faux confidence
Oh,
that
yeah.
they try to bring.
What's like I always say?
Do you want do you want a small titty girl or a big titty girl? No, it's really you need to pick a small titty girl.
yeah. They don't. What were you going to say, Brian? Before I.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they are very insecure. I lost my train of thought here.
Yeah, they're insecure. That's why
He
you're
heard
getting this.
tickle bitties, and that was it. He checked out. He checked out. He's like, I'm good. Like, I got it. I got to start pulling up all these windows on Google.
I'll give you time to catch your thoughts. Now you're festering me. Instead of embracing their own beauty, they want to bring down everybody else's so they'll shine. Like I said.
Oh, now I remember what I wanted to say.
Go ahead.
It's like the evil. It's like how the evil queen tried to kill Snow White with the poison apple.
Right. Exactly. That's a good example, Brian. Exactly. That's
do it in real life too.
Yep.
Oh yeah, they're doing it now. Look at everything now. When I see what I see now, I mean, even down to Barbie now, because I'm a Barbie collector, and what they usually do for us collectors is they give us a catalog or listing of what's to come. And oh my God, somehow, guys, I'm gonna get you the pictures. I even wrote in a comment online on Barbie's Twitter page, why is Barbie ugly now? What are these ugly Barbies coming from? Guys, you don't want to see the Ken dolls. Oh my God, they have feminized the Ken dolls. They've given them buns, man buns, and they're
great.
Their Ken is now feminine.
Neil Druckmann in doll form.
Yeah,
Why?
They got these men buns.
Why y'all gotta do my boy like that? He didn't do shit to nobody. He was a character in Toy Story.
He's been so feminized now, and Barbie is ugly now. Oh my God, they have it's environmentalists save the whales, Barbie.
My God.
I am not kidding. Yeah, I'm serious. I will send in the private chat the pictures.
Antifa Barbie. Oh, that's terrible.
That's coming. They do have a Black Lives Matter Barbie. They do.
What?
I'm serious.
Whoa.
She's out there with the other Karen Drexlers. Oh my gosh.
Yes, they have a.
Oh my gosh.
Lives Matter. They have.
Are these literally getting on the shelves? By the way.
Yes, Some are collectibles. Some are collectibles, and the Save the Whales Barbie is available for kids to buy. Yes, they are available for kids to buy. The Black
You know,
Lives Matter.
I would have been okay with Save the Whales Barbie if it was in the 90s because we all know Free Willy came out that time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because Free Willy was real popular in that time. So yeah.
Nowadays, I'm like, fuck them whales. They
You,
can,
you,
they're,
and you don't want
they're
to.
doing all right by themselves right now.
You're not doing it right. It's fuck them whole ass whales, like young Ripper would say.
Yes.
I'm like, bruh, the only time I'm helping a whale is if the whale is beached. Anywhere else, the whale is fine.
They have Recycle Barbie. I'm not kidding. I am absolutely.
Look.
I know you're not kidding.
Whoa. I'm okay with Recycle Barbie. I'm okay with that.
You haven't seen what it looked like though. You have not seen.
It probably don't.
Let me
look
guess.
Like Barbie.
Nightmare Fuel.
Yeah. Yes.
Probably.
Her blonde
You know
hair
what?
is gone. Her curves are gone. Her
You know
smile
what,
is gone.
Leia, you might as well show me. I really need to see this.
Okay.
This could behold the spectacle.
Because
no.
when you're saying these names, I'm thinking of classic looking Barbie in a garbage person's outfit, with the smile and everything. You gotta really show me to really show me, really pull the curtain off and give me the reality.
I'll see if I can get the pictures for you. I'll dig up the pictures for you, and you'll have to see, and you'll see it for yourself. So I'll see if I can try and go out and find it here. Get the Google and looking for it. But it's.
Look, Victoria. I know my hatred for dolphins is unmatched, but like I said, the whales can take care. I'm only saying the whales can take care of themselves. We have a nice alliance with the whales, mind you. We have a nice alliance with the whales. Look, they can fix their own shit. I'm just saying. Y'all. Victoria also wants to see the link too as well, Leia.
Recycle Barbie.
Oh, okay. I'll see if I can look for it. I'm looking for it now. I just didn't want to end up my connection. Hopefully, my connection won't go out. But I'm looking for it now. But if I don't get it before the chat is over, I'm definitely going to get it out. So I'm looking for it right now
myself.
Okay. Look up. Let's see.
Recycle Barbie.
Yeah, Recycle Barbie. Look up. What are they called? The Fashion Barbie 21. You should see in a collection. I forgot the name of it so quick. I'm looking up the name of it to help you find it better. Or if you go to barbiecollectibles.com, they are on the main page of to the collectibles section.
I will do that right now.
Me too.
You go to the section. Let's see, what is it called? My mind is that blank. Let me see. I'm looking it up myself.
Serving new looks. Oh wow, he looks like a total Chad now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey man, link them as you seen them, man. Link them as you. I see Princess of the South. I see Ty. I'm not on the main page, by the way. I'm just looking at the screenshots on the Bing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you want to get to the main page. I'm trying to think what the.
They got the Polish one. They got the Princess of the Danish. Okay, they got some good ones so far right here.
Those are older ones. Those are the ones.
Them the ones you really want.
Yes.
Them's the ones you want.
Yes.
Them the ones Leia will collect.
Yes, those are the ones that I'm used to collecting.
Are you talking about BarbieMattel.com?
No, Barbie Collectibles.
Yeah. What was it?
Type in BarbieCollectibles.com. Let's see. I'm trying to bring it up right now. Let me see if I can bring it up for you guys. Okay. Barbie Collector. And let's see if I can get to that site. Oh, Barbie Signature. That's Barbie if you go to the Barbie. Yes, I found it. If you go to the main site and click on the link that's Barbie Signature, yeah, you'll see what they now sell now. And you have to go to you click Signature.
Holy moly!
And click down the
Oh my
or
goodness!
collect Barbie looks.
man.
I'm gonna
No.
click on the. I think Troopers found it.
Oh my goodness!
Dude, link it as you speak it,
I'm
man.
Oh,
Okay,
wow.
I'm bringing it. I'm bringing it to you right. I'll see. Let's see if I can link it to you
I'm trying
there.
to find the most asinine one. So give me a second.
Oh, man.
And make sure you put in the chat.
Holy.
Make sure you put in the chat.
Well, in this one, she's wearing here.
Where are her organs?
In this one, she's wearing sneakers. So we already got that whole soccer mom thing going.
Oh,
The one
my.
the one I just sent. Yes.
And look at- I was just looking at this.
Check out the signature and the Ken. I just sent the Barbie signature, which has them all there. The I think the Ken dolls are going to take your attention more, but there are
They
more.
just did. They just did.
Okay.
Ken got that gay boy, got that gay boy buzz. They don't put that gay
Yeah.
boy buzz on
Memo.
Ken.
Chat.
Oh
Black
man,
Ken-
oh man,
The
oh,
black Ken is not looking any much better. You got Latina Barbie looking like a
Latinx
celebrity. Okay,
Barbie.
that's fine. The plus size
Yep.
one look fine, I
What
guess.
about that curvy brunette? What about that curvy?
Don't forget
man. Oh yeah.
Don't forget
Bruh.
the pixie.
Thunderhips Barbie. Thunderhips Barbie for like $20.
Look, you got Twig Barbie with the blonde hair, and you got the what looks to be
Yeah.
a non-binary looking Barbie with
I
that
think it's-
non-binary dress going on.
Leia,
Yeah,
those
they-
are terrible. I mean, look at the joint.
Yes, they are.
Yikes.
Joints on freaking Nightmare Fuel Barbie here with the freaking puff, or not even Afro
Yeah.
puff. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
Wolf, I think that's
Yeah,
what it
Wolf
is.
the meme here.
Non-binary. I think she was meant to be non-binary. I think that's what they said she was meant to be. The short
Look,
hair
I'm
one.
gonna link this BS into the chat so they can take a look in horror.
Yes, they could.
yeah. I'm already wondering. I have one very important question. Where are her organs?
you're right.
They're made of plastic, bitch.
I was trying to
Hey,
find the
oh.
one. I guess they took it down. I think there was one that was the save the one. Let me see if I can find that one. You want to
Except the
see
whales
that one?
Barbie. Let's see if I can find
Mm.
Yeah.
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 Like, who would even buy this crap? Jeez.
I was
Ah, you-
shocked.
You'd be amazed.
You'd be amazed how many mothers would
Yeah.
do this. Oh, I found it. Yeah, this is the recycle one. So let me see if I can get that to you. The recycle ones. Oh my God! You sure you want to see these, Wolf?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Okay.
It's like a
Okay.
train wreck.
Look, Leia, you talk to a guy who's seen so much shit.
Oh
well,
yeah.
I mean, they got that Stormtrooper Lady Gaga Barbie. I mean, that's pretty bad.
Oh goodness.
Mm.
Let's see.
Okay, I am sending over.
All right.
Oh, ocean plastic. That's what it's called. Okay.
Oh, okay. That's
Ocean
why I couldn't find
plastic.
it. Okay.
Okay, let me see if I can get one of them over to Wolf Commander. This is how
All right.
Barbie is made now. Now, this one I'm sending you is for little girls. So let me see if I can. This is for mommies to buy their little girls. Let me see if I can get one for you. Here it comes now. She loves the ocean.
Hmm.
Okay. Barbie loves ocean. Let's see.
Yeah. She loves
Is
it.
that
I
a
figured
pregnant woman outfit?
Oh wow! Wow.
no, that,
Yikes.
She
that
looks like
is
Snow White. So
that is
The hands and feet are so
Where
friggin'
is her-
small too.
that is
wait a minute. She's $10. The hell?
yes.
That's the only thing he
People
drew
pay
in.
money
You
for
mean
this
you can't
crap.
sell that dollar for more than $10?
This is their
Wow.
idea of
She's got a gut too. Look, she's
That's what I'm saying. Is that a pregnant outfit? Is that a pregnant dress?
well, it's a plastic
I-
doll, so it wouldn't be a fupa. It'd be a plupa. It's like
I'm like, is
Yeah.
she
You know, they
I
pregnant?
just
couldn't
not-
believe the dress.
I mean,
I couldn't believe the dress.
look. I'm okay if you want to make pregnant Barbie. Go ahead and do that. You know what I'm saying? Make
But
a
here's
pregnant
my
Barbie.
thing. She's got like man arms too. Like
Yeah.
Yet the hands are so small too.
yeah.
Oh my God, they got look at the package they put her in.
Yes, that's.
Uh-uh.
Oh my
That's-
goodness.
that-
This
So
is,
she's this is just telling me that she celebrate Pride now.
That's 13th Street in Alameda, Barbie. Like,
Oh, and it says a doll line made from recycled ocean-bound plastic. Bitch, that shit will break down already. Ocean-bound my ass.
Oh my
That
goodness.
shit, the friggin'
Well, with
ocean's made of
biodegradable
salt.
materials.
Bruh, the salt will eat
But
away
did-
that plastic.
But do you see the doll under it? Like if you go past the details, there's a little doll of color, and she ain't much
I
better.
put it-
Yeah, that's
I
what I meant.
posted
Like,
it. Obviously,
With the blue
yeah.
dress,
Mhm.
the blue.
That looks so cheap. That looks just. It looks like
But-
something I would
but
find
if-
in a
We're
no,
breaking a
Goodwill.
stiff
The
breeze.
Hispanic one is not as thick as or rather, the Hispanic one is thicker than the black one.
Yeah,
What you?
but
like,
they
what you
look
trying to-
cheap. They look absolutely just. When I was a little girl, Barbie wasn't like this. This is not what Barbie's like. She had the nice pink box and her pretty
Oh.
dress and her pretty word. I don't know what this is. I couldn't believe it when I saw it.
But hey,
I
she's
could
got
not
her
believe
flip
it.
flops. So she's got her flip flops. She's ready to go. She's ready
Yep,
to go.
she's wearing her flip flops. Is in her flip flops.
why the black one look better than this faux Latino one?
Well, because the Latinas, it's
They
like-
got
it's-
ugly them, huh? Because
No,
they're not on the
no.
market.
No, she's diabetic. That's the problem.
Oh wow.
Oh, guys, I'm about to send you
Oh, no.
a non-binary. Remind you, all I have to say is this is a girl, but they said she was designed so you couldn't tell if she was boy or girl. I'm sending it right now. I kid you not. Here it comes. She
Mhm.
was made. This. I'm going to say this again.
Oh.
This is a girl, but she was designed so that there was no distinction. They didn't distinction between her gender. It's for boys and girls. It's coming right now. That one
I
is
see
a
it.
non-binary. Yeah, that one is
I
non.
see it.
That one is
What are
non-binary.
you, Barbie Club Chelsea doll?
Mm-hmm.
Nani?
That's a boy.
No, it's a girl.
That's a boy.
But
It's
Leia.
an it.
Leia.
Oh.
I
Hey.
don't give a shit on the correction. That is a boy. That's a
She
boy.
was-
Like,
Mm-mm.
That's a
but
boy.
they said in the book I added they were designed to be. It's you call it a boy.
It's a boy.
Mm-mm.
I don't care if you put a
he's
female
boy,
name to it.
boy,
It's a
after all.
That's a boy.
Okay.
Look. If they want to argue with a werewolf, you let them try. Let them try.
Added diversity and
There's
more
no way that
variety
looks like a
of
girl.
hairstyles, providing
No, I'm saying like they try to argue with a
imaginations.
With a werewolf.
Justin Bieber ghetto haircut there.
No, that's a well. I was gonna
Look.
I'm gonna be a little bit more polite. That's. Gosh, I don't know how to say that. I know what type of cut it is. You know, it's there. We go. It's a Captain Marvel cut. There.
Yeah,
I'll leave it
well-
at that.
Well, they said when you're
Oh,
a
yeah.
collector in the catalog we got, they said the purpose was the doll not to look so that boys and girls can play with her, and boys don't have to be guilty about playing with a Barbie doll. So
Right.
it was designed.
No.
That's not how that
No.
works.
No. It's not your motherfucking job to teach parents to not shame your child, no matter what the gender is, on what kind of
But here's
toys.
the thing:
they
they
wanna
can't
play.
sell it for more than $7. I mean, no one's buying it. I mean, it's $7. Like,
Point still stands. Ain't nobody supposed to be bending over backwards with parents who can't even accept the fact that their child likes to play with freaking dolls of any kind of gender. It is not. Look, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I own a toy motherfucking
I can't
company,
get over the
let alone-
haircut. I can't
Look,
get over the
let
haircut.
alone
Yes.
let alone a doll
Haircut,
company,
man.
and they coming at me telling something I should be making some non. I'm like, You need
Well,
to be
no,
comfortable. Look,
that's
look. All you motherfuckers, both the conservatives and the social hobos, y'all need to come on consistency. Y'all need to be okay with y'all child playing with whatever kind of toys they like to play with. Be it a G.I. Joe, a Transformers, a Barbie, a pound puppy, or whatever. You need to get over that your child tends to like what they like.
No. That's like you're like, you're at your local retail store and you're mad because they got your order wrong, and you're like, I want to speak to your manager, and then this thing comes out with the name tag. The name tag says Chris, but you don't know if it means Christian or Christina, and it has that haircut, and it's like, "Hi, I'm Chris. How can I help you?" And then you're like, "Oh, that's not doing."
Look, all I'm saying is, this is what I'm gonna say to him: it is not my job to satisfy your needs for your child. It is your job to satisfy the needs of your child.
I can prank people with that.
Exactly.
You can sue me all you want. You can sue me all you want. I'm telling you right now, it is not my job to make a product where you feel comfortable with your child playing. You need to be comfortable with whatever your child decides to play with. My job is to sell you a toy that your child wants to play. Bottom line is, I am selling you a product that your child happens to like.
I gotta mute myself.
No, we need to hear you laugh.
Well, Dominic Paul was a little out of the loop here.
I'm saying it is not my job to make a product that you feel comfortable buying your child. It is my job to sell you a product that your child likes to play with. You better be glad I ain't selling you no pedo toys. That's all you need to worry about. What you should be worried about is if I'm making pedo toys, which I am not. I'm making kids' toys. And I damn sure will let you know that none of those dolls that you're going to get is going to have a button where the groin area, where the doll is going to make a gasping sound and a giggling sound or whatever sound. You have my word on that. You have my word on that. But bottom line is, and I'm going to end right here, bottom line is, it is not my job to make you a toy that you are comfortable with your child playing with. Your child is comfortable playing with the toys that I sell you. And you will buy them because your child wants them, right? You like making your child happy, right? So buy it and shut the fuck up. And you can take me to court for saying that. For bad language. We'll see how this clown circus will go.
These are coming to a store near you. I was trying to find the mission statement for that line where they would explain.
Wait. I got more. On the subject of my profession and the subject of my art, it is not my job to make any characters that you don't see in my world. They don't exist. I'm sorry.
Have they seen the link to that little boy-girl doll? Like,
wait, hang on. Let me share it.
They don't. I don't think they know what we're free.
Yeah, Big Al just said it here.
You in my stream? You knew what you were getting yourself into when you stepped in.
Al can die laughing.
I don't know.
My goodness. I'm just saying, bottom line, it is not my job to do that.
Oh my gosh.
My job is to sell a product.
Well, no, I have laughed that hard, but I haven't laughed that hard in a while.
I'm a comedian now.
That thing is, oh my god, that thing is AIDS just looking at it. But yeah, that is the haircut that the manager would have. And
look at he owned up to it. Hey, Big Al, by the way. I'm just saying.
Good to see you, Al.
Hello, Al. Well, I was trying to find of death. Yes, Victoria. You're absolutely right. That's what I said when I saw this.
No, can we have a moment of silence for Leia Plus because she's buying this stuff. She's not technically buying. Wait. She's not technically buying their quote unquote new stuff.
No,
but I'm just saying she must be dying definitely inside, seeing how her collectibles are being maimed if you will.
Names.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I
There was
goodness.
don't.
another.
Oh,
There's a
Yeah,
four-letter word I was
mutilated.
going to use, but I use it far too much, so I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop using it for a while, but it's gonna come back. But for a better word, maimed.
Yes,
Oh, yeah.
I'm mostly buying classic. Thank God for eBay and thrift stores because that's where
Right.
I can find
Well,
the ones that you saw
that's
earlier.
where I'm getting my
Uh,
films, man. I got a freaking $8 copy of Blood Beach. I mean, that's a great cult film if you've never
Now,
seen it.
I
You
will.
can
I
watch
will.
it on YouTube. You can totally rip it. It's like 480p. I mean, in one scene, you can see the boom mic on the top of the screen, and I just start
Now, do you
dying.
guys want to hear something positive after
Oh,
my
hey,
long tirade?
this was a great laugh for me.
Was-
So I'm
Go
doing
for
good.
it.
yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So I just opened my Blu-ray of Godzilla vs Kong, and oh my goodness, they got 2 discs up in here. You got one that has Godzilla's claw, and the
I
other
gotta
got
go get it today. I gotta go
yeah.
get it
You need to
today.
go get.
I'll
This
watch
is
it tonight.
this is funny. Actually, no, it's not his claw. It's his foot, and the other disc has Kong's foot. I'm like, oh, that's nice. I like that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like the way they
which,
did Inner Earth.
I'm like, I wonder
Really
which
good.
one gonna pop in. I guess I'll pop in the one that was the winner.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I like that. I like that. Now I'm anxious to open up the heavy metal Blu-ray, see what that looks like. The disc, I mean, the disc,
Mm.
because
You
you know how I love art, right? And
Yeah.
yeah. When I opened up, like, oh my goodness, oh my
I
goodness.
wonder if anyone else has seen that Chelsea doll. That's hilarious, dude. I mean, yeah, it is nightmare fuel, but oh my god.
That ain't no girl. That's a boy.
Yeah.
I don't care what
Yeah, I
your
just want-
desired pronouns is. That's
Can I
a
help you,
he
sir?
and a him. That's
I'm
a
telling
he
you,
and a freaking him.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, that haircut is like ghetto Justin Bieber or some crap like
It
that. Oh,
is. It's the freaking
It
Bieber
looks
cut.
like Justin Bieber.
Every freaking dude was wearing that.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Every freaking dude was wearing that Bieber cut. I wasn't because I was like,
They-
oh,
yeah, military crew cut here.
yeah, no, for
They-
real, dude.
They also have I sent one
Victoria. You sad summer child.
well, they did.
Oh, Wolfie knows something we don't.
Well, as far as I know, I mean, they're all going that way. So,
I sent one over for you, Trooper. They made a pink hair one. You
You
might want to
spoke
look
too
at that
soon,
one.
girl.
oh goodness,
Oh.
oh goodness, oh goodness.
It's you'll see it.
I see it.
Called the Doll for Everyone. It's called a Doll for Everybody line. And
That's
Wolfie,
a
I'm gonna
dude.
send one over.
What
to
is that
Wolfie.
Potel section you wearing? Why is they always going? Why do people think plaid is the it thing to
That's
use?
got a man jaw. Like I don't understand.
That is a him. That's
Oh,
a him
Lord.
and a he. That's not no girl.
They
That ain't
call
no
it the-
dress. That's a potato sack.
They call it the Diversity Series.
Oh my
oh,
goodness!
oh, okay.
Oh,
Well,
man.
No! Pump the brakes! Pump the brakes! Pump the brakes!
I'm
Pump the brakes!
serious.
Pump the brakes!
I'm serious.
Pump the brakes!
If you
I just opened up my heavy metal Blu-ray.
right.
It's
Mhm.
got
Mhm.
Dar
Okay.
in a Frank Frazetta painting with the Lochnar held up high with the lady hanging on his leg like Conan style.
Yeah.
I'm popping this in tonight. Oh my goodness, that artwork.
Take a
is
picture of it and then
good.
just load it.
Oh
to-
yeah,
put it on Viewing.
Y'all gonna see. Oh, definitely, y'all gonna see the pictures. Oh my
We
goodness.
could
I'm-
even do a rewatch. Of that.
Oh, happy freaking day for me.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah, we could do
watched
it.
Oh,
it
happy
now.
day.
See, I don't need to put on something that make me feel good. I'm looking at something that makes me feel good. Oh my goodness. Goodness gracious. I'm on a roll today. Think I'm losing my mind, y'all.
They say this line is
Like
is
it on
the diversity-
Christmas.
Yeah, they call it the diversity line of
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
mixed. It's going to be mixed. What did they say in here? You can read it on there. It said.
Are you saying that they call it a blob?
they
The
call
body types, fashions, the dolls are designed to reflect the world's kids see today.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
As
is there-
in
is there a
what your
doll
child
that
needs
is-
to
the
what we
cheaper
want your
doll
child
would
to
be
see
like-
today.
Would be like a very toxic doll. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that's.
Right.
Well, it is
I can't
plastic,
buy-
so
I can't
it
buy
is
the
toxic.
Doll for my kid. It might terrorize them.
hmm
I'm gonna send a one. Wolf, these two are for you. This is from the. I told you this is what they have. That's one. And this one, these are part of the diversity line. They call it the diversity. They're trying to cover just about everything.
What is that trash bag she wearing? No, seriously. Somebody tell me something. Why is she wearing a trash bag? That's supposed to be That's supposed to be 90s. They're trying to look like the 90s. This is a trash bag.
She forgot.
Why is that jacket covering up her whole body?
You know, didn't Erica Badu make a song after that? You need to pick your Afro daddy because it's looking flat on one side.
Pick your Afro daddy because it's nappy. I say you need to pick your Afro daddy.
Oh my
'cause
goodness.
it's nappy.
Oh man.
What you waiting for? What you waiting for? Because if you don't pick your Afro daddy, I don't know the rest.
Oh, good grief.
No. I love that song. I love that song, by the way. I love that song.
Man, these dolls, dude. I mean, that's stuff nightmares are made of.
Yeah.
Hey,
There's kids that come to life and start attacking people like Chucky or something.
oh man, that's crazy stuff.
Oh my goodness.
I'm gonna see this last one. You got to see the one with the orange hair.
Daddy.
Oh, there's more.
Yes, this one
There
with
is.
orange hair.
Girl, man, this is the world that she lives in. You know she's got a whole room full.
Not these. Not this one. I'll let everybody clear. These I do not own at all. I don't collect these. I was just showing you guys how
you don't.
Barbie.
We know you don't. We know you don't.
They just. This is what
You got more
that's-
data. Oh my god! What the heck they do to my kid? Look at his hair, homeboy. What you do to your hairline?
Let's see. I haven't.
What you do to your hair? What's wrong with your hairline, cuz?
That's the dude.
That's-
I'm
That
telling
ain't
you,
no dude. That's a girl.
That's
That is Grace Jones. A wannabe
That's a
Grace
dude.
Jones. That ain't
the
strong.
dude.
That ain't strong, Jay. That's strange.
That's the dude with Nicki Minaj.
What is this?
That is.
What is this? What
And it
is
has the
fake?
belly too.
What
It
is
has
fake
the belly
Queen
because
Lat-
it's fanny
Look,
pack
we got
don't
Queen
hang in its
Latifah
place.
mixed with Beyonce here. What is this?
Good grief.
This
Oh,
is
my
what they think little girls want to play with, but I don't think so. The point I'm making by showing all of these is that
Right.
this is what they want little girls to play with,
Yes.
designed by insecure women that are insecure with themselves and want to push it off. Boyfriend shirt.
Emergent boyfriend shirt. Oh
Yeah.
boy. Big diss right there.
Let me address Victoria real quick. What I'm saying is, with the way how the toy line is going, you just know that the series of movies are going to follow that already.
Barbie and her woke friends are coming.
I think they did release one movie that's like that.
They did?
I'm not
I didn't know about
I'm
that.
not sh- I'm speculating. I think. I didn't say I know. I said I think. That means speculation there.
Mhm.
I think they came out with one that was woke. I'm not sure though. But don't put it past them for not trying.
Yeah, I agree with you. I would not put it past them now. Victoria.
You broke us all, if you ask me.
Okay, yeah.
No. It's where Trooper said he.
Oh goodness.
No. It's where Trooper said that I need to fix my toys for it. I'm like, it is not my job to make a toy where you are comfortable with your child to play with. I'm talking about the parent. I'm talking about the parent. I'm talking about the child. It is not my job to make a toy that you are comfortable with your child playing with. Your child likes a toy, you need to get it. And if you don't need to get it, you need to talk to your child and say, "We'll get it later. We'll get it later. We'll get it later." You surprise that child with that toy that they like so much. If a girl wants to play with Captain America, you get her Captain America action figure then. If a boy likes to play with Barbie, then you might as well give a boy a Barbie doll. Maybe he needs a Barbie doll with that Captain America doll he needs to play with because there's too much of a sausage special in his toy his toy collection. I didn't have no problem with Andy having Bo Peep in his collection because Bo Peep was the girlfriend to his Woody.
Yes.
Yep.
That's the reason why you buy a girl's toy for your boy, because your boy needs a girlfriend for his guy toy.
Exactly.
That's right.
Duh!
And vice
Yep.
versa. Yep. And vice versa. I had my I had my
And again, bottom line, it's not
Oh,
my
no,
job
Victoria,
to
I
make
know it
a
broke me
gender
because
list.
I couldn't stop laughing.
I'm just
I
saying,
cannot
it is
stop
not my job to make a genderless toy for your children. You buy either or. Gender is not a social construct. It is biology.
Yep. Chromosomes.
And that's all I'm gonna say on that one. Y'all take the flow. Whoever. Look, when Trooper said that really pissed me off because again, it's like, bruh, what am I doing for my art then if I'm trying to satisfy you? You in particular, the individual that has a problem with me putting boobs on a wolf. Because I'm gonna tell you right now. I don't care that. Look, do I say I don't like non-binary people? Yes, I do. Yes, I do. But again, I don't need no lost and confused blob of a person to tell me I shouldn't be putting boobs on a wolf. Okay, it wasn't made for you. It was made for the profession I enrolled myself in the community I decided to induct myself in. That's who it was made for, not you. And I'm damn sure not gonna change their gender for you. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Leia. I know you want to say something.
No, that's okay. This stream is about not apologizing. So
exactly. But I apologize to look. The rule is I apologize to those who I care about. That's the rule.
That's the rule. The point of me showing you guys this is to showing you just how it's this wokeism has infected even down to toys. You know, like I said, Barbie used to be beautiful. I have a wonderful collection of classic, gorgeous glam Barbie, and then I open up my little catalog telling me what to buy, and I see all of this. And like, well, whose idea came up with what is this? But this is, to me, a concept by someone who is, first of all, Mattel's probably thinking this is what little girls want, but they really don't. This is what they want the little girls want, or it's what they want the parents to buy, or made by someone who's insecure. So they decide, I'm going to strip her down. I'm going to strip Barbie down and make her ugly so I myself can shine just as bright. So those are really examples of how they're coming. Now, another thing that you guys know that these are not selling. I'm telling you right now, they are sitting on the shelves. They're sitting on the shelves of collector stores. Yeah, that is why they're cheap. Don't let them fool you. Don't care what Mattel says. Nobody's buying these. Maybe there are some are, but I in the collector stores I go to, they have been sitting on the shelf for months. They are just sitting there. I think eventually they're going to drop the prices even lower. So people don't want this. So
that Chelsea doll's what, $7?
Yeah, $7. It's $7.
I buy lunch for $7.
Yeah.
Right. Crazy. Oh man, that was a good laugh.
I love that banner.
Yeah.
Goodness.
I'm making a point here. It is not my job to satisfy. It's my job to sell. If your children like it, that's fine, because that means I'm selling more. That means I got more to sell. I have more to give on supply and demand. It is not my job to satisfy your complaints. Bottom line, you look. We see it time and time again. What they say to us, right, about our fandom,
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah, it's not my job to satisfy you. Then is that where we stand? Okay, I'm drawing the line. You step up my line, you bet you gonna get what you get. I'm gonna hand it to you. Well, can you trim down the boobs? No, I'm gonna hand it to you. Can you remove the butt is too big. Can you trim it down, please? No.
But they
her chest is exposed. Can you cover it up? No. No, that is the product I chose to design. you is not gonna change it. If you want to cover up, you do it. You got that rag around your neck, wrap it up then.
Oh goodness. Oh man.
It's customizable for your convenience. Just saying.
Yep, that was that was the. I'm glad I put the spirit up, but that was the whole point of me showing it, was going back to the idea. This ridiculous. They're going overboard with this beauty thing, and I do think it's coming from women who are insecure, and they're insecure, and they also
Women who
think
don't want to be women.
Yeah, and they don't want to be women. So they're
be mothers, don't want to be women either.
Mothers, they don't want to be women. They hate being feminine or anything feminine or feminine physique, anything that God designed them to be. They want
Hate
to
to
go
say it,
against.
ladies, you're the ones who started this. Y'all the ones who started this. It really came from y'all. Am I wrong?
Yep.
Am I wrong? I'm not trying to say all women are like this, but I'm saying the ones that screaming the loudest, they the ones that started this. This usually starts with a woman, or at least one or two women. Usually.
Yeah, it could be, but again, yeah, it came from
point right here. I'm sorry, Leia.
Go ahead.
Point. Who were the founders of BLM? Three chicks.
White women.
3 women.
No.
Yes. Yep.
3
women.
chicks. See.
Isn't one of them in trouble for taking some of the money and buying them some condos or something? I don't know. I read something.
For $1 million homes, so $4 million worth of homes.
Shoot,
high-end
Maxine Waters came and keep her mouth shut. Listen to what she's saying.
Her excuse was high-end neighborhoods aren't diverse enough, and I'm like, okay, but
Nope.
how does that justify you actually taking that money to buy houses for yourself? I mean, are you going to put up all these people in that house, or is it for you to have your house parties, if you will? Like, what's the objective?
And it's still a lily white gated community too.
Yeah, that's exactly where she's at. Yeah, that's what I heard. I read
the Boondocks the Boondocks would like to have a word with you.
Oh,
Yeah.
well,
Yeah.
That's the thing. It's like, these people preach X, but then they want to move to nicer neighborhoods, and then it's like, okay, cool, do that. You
Look,
can.
if you want to make a success story about how you saved yourself from the ghetto, go ahead and do that.
Yeah.
Don't just take my money for it. But then again, she ain't got my money. She got some other people's money. White people, black people, whatever. Anybody who got suckered in and they got suckered in, got manipulated into putting all that money in. Yep, you guys, you're a bunch of suckers. They played you like a heart from hell.
Exactly.
That sucker.
Exactly. And what was that? I was going to say. I was jumping back to stay on this line. I think back to like I said, they all this is getting transferred to this, but a lot of this, I believe, is insecure women trying to make secure women feel bad so they can feel good about themselves. I that's what I see. That's what I see now. That's
how equity works. I mean, that's a perfect example of equity that you just brought up. You bring down one set to bring up another set. So
Melissa Harris, sorry, Melissa.
Yeah,
They call it revenge.
It was more like a Homer Simpson scream.
It wasn't
a Ren and Stimpy scream.
It wasn't. We all know who wins.
Hey! I did mention this is a fun stream, so we're having fun right now. We're in the fun talk at this point.
Yeah, we're in the 3-hour mark.
Fun talk. Shoot.
What did you say, Brian? Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah, a lot of it is. And I was going to go back to something Trooper said earlier. I hope I can remember it. It was going back to the ScarJo comment. And I remember when she first got this part, I was trying to find a quote from her. I was looking it up where she felt empowered as ScarJo, especially when she's doing the Winter Soldier movie, how empowered she felt and wearing the black tight suit. Being known one. And now she's doing this 360 all of a sudden.
Right?
Yeah, all of a
sudden.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of the
Always
internet.
convenient for them.
The internet stays there.
What did you say, Brian?
It's always convenience for these people.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's order of convenience, and now she's doing a 1/360 that I was shamed in Iron Man. I was like, are you kidding me? She
Man,
did not look like she didn't do anything she
She
did not
owned
want to
that.
do. She did.
She
did.
owned that. She knows
did.
it.
She did. She absolutely did. She made no complaints about that character or that role at all. But now all of a sudden, oh, I was brainwashed, or oh, it's the director's fault, or
It's just-
oh, it's Disney's fault that did that. That was not me. You know, that was someone else. You know,
It's just such a weird way to market that film. Like,
Mhm.
let's say it is. Let's say it is a trap film. But why would you market it in a way that's going to already not bring the crowd into the theater? I don't understand that. I mean, it's a Marvel film, right? So you almost expect a certain level of entertainment from a Marvel film, even if it's terrible.
Yeah. And what I hate is I went to bat for her when they chose Miss Marvel over her film. I went to bat for ScarJo. I said, "Oh, that's bad what they did to ScarJo. They should have did a Black Widow film, and they instead they picked Brie Larson to this Marvel film." I went to bat for her, and now she sits here and she says this. You know,
well,
I said, like, I am not going to see this. I am not going. I went to bat for her.
Yeah, I agree. I think the most
she was like Leia was like where I was with Anthony Mackie.
You make a good point about, hey, you know what? It should have been Black Widow. For me, it should have been Wanda. So I mean, we're about two sides of the same coin. But
yeah,
what'll be the most telling will be what their next, or what, if we're talking about ScarJo or Elizabeth Olsen, what will be really telling will be what their next project is. So whatever film Scarlett is doing next, how she markets that. Or if same thing with Elizabeth Olsen, what her next project after WandaVision is, how they market that. So if suddenly the opinion changes slightly, then it was exactly just for the movie studio.
Funny enough, she's not even American born.
It's one of these things where it's like, oh, okay, I just have to say this because that's what they want, and that's how they want to market this film. But I don't agree.
Dang, I lost a lot of watchers, I guess, from my explosion. I see only 2 watchers right now, or they went
they're like, oh my goodness.
Like Wolf is getting so belligerent. I can't take his screaming. Like
Wolfie's scared. So maybe the Barbie scared them away. Oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. It's my fault.
Freaking Chelsea doll. Hi. My name is Chelsea.
I know one thing. If any of the big greats catch in on this, they're in for a treat.
Yeah, they are. I was just to show that, but
that's one way to put it.
Yes, absolutely.
I know if Ishii ever decided to check any of my streams, even though he's got work to do with this book project. I'm not going to say what it is for the sake of incognito again. But yeah, I'm pretty sure again he's going to be in for a treat. He's going to love it. Him and Kat.
Because with all these,
I think
Go ahead.
I was going to say, you make a good point. You say it depends. It's interesting what's going to see what they do next out of the MCU. I think part of them may try. I think they're going to.
Okay.
Oh, I think they're going to try to blend into Hollywood and turn away from what the public wants them to see. I wouldn't be surprised if ScarJo's next film, she's in some sort of 3-hour dramatic period piece playing a woman overcoming all the odds to reach her goal and get uglied down so she could take it seriously. I think they're going to try to please the Hollywood system more than the audience. And could be the same thing with Elizabeth Olsen. I think they're going to try to please Hollywood so they can get awards and accolades. I think that's what they're going to, more than box office receipts.
Maybe.
But we'll see how long. I could be wrong. It's just a theory. But then again, it's according how long they can go without good money. Then when the good money starts to run out, then they're going to say, well, I better make something to make money, or I better make a return in the next Marvel film, and I'm the Black Widow of another multi-millionaire universe that they're using. They may try to do something like that,
Yeah,
Even with,
Mhm.
even I want to say, going back to Doctor Strange, when you talked about Doctor Strange, is why I'm mad as the devil. Doctor Strange was taken out of WandaVision basically because he was a white male and they didn't want a white male, which Kevin Feige's excuse makes no sense at all. But it's Wokeville, and he was trying to please Twitter. But that's how they think. But I thought he would fit in perfectly in that show. In fact, again, that's where I thought the direction was going. And then I just got fed up. I said, you know what? I don't want any more of this. I'm tired of subverting expectations. I'm tired of stupid storylines. I could care less what happens to them after that. So,
Well, to dovetail on that, I mean, I'm looking. You can't really find anything as far as her filmography right now online. About the only thing I can really come up with is looks like IMDb, but I mean, looks like there is a rumored part in 2021. Obviously, she did one voice job, but it looks like her next film is labeled Bride. And I don't think it has, I don't see a release date, but listen to this synopsis and tell me how this doesn't sound like Westworld. Follows a woman created to be an ideal wife, but when she rejects her creator, she's forced to flee her confined existence, confronting a world that sees her as a monster. So that to me tells me it's already a uber feminist film.
yeah, that sounds that way.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, that sounds. It sounds. I see it already. You're
Yeah,
right.
and it's in pre-production, which means they haven't even gotten to filming. They're still doing the costumes and the backdrops and all this stuff. But yeah, so I mean, yeah, so we already know where they're going. I mean, that would make more sense if she's making an uber woke feminist film right now that's in pre-production. She doesn't want to piss off that particular director because
Who we
guess
talking
what?
about?
They can still get another actress. Scarlett Johansson and her
Still on
next project.
ScarJo? Okay.
Well,
Yeah,
her next project.
I think that's direction some of them are going to go in. They're going to go into scripts that they feel Hollywood wants,
Right.
not what the audience wants.
Or that'll pay. I mean, hey, I'll
Yeah.
give you money if you do this.
They're chasing Oscar bait.
Exactly. Yeah, Brian, that's the best word for it.
Mm.
Oscar bait. And then, yeah, it's Oscar bait. I agree. And I think it's also, maybe it's back to validation. Maybe that could be included in your validation stream, Wolf, of being validated by Hollywood, being accepted by that Hollywood. I'm going to bring this up in more detail, Wolf, when you do that second validation stream, because I had posed a question that maybe Wolf would consider down the line. And the question was, does Hollywood hate basically pop culture films, pop culture roles? And one of the things that a lot of actors do when they get out of those films that are franchises or something is a validation by Hollywood, And so I think that they're probably going to be doing films that the public can't stand, but Hollywood will love it and will get them awards. And to them, that means that's more important to them right now.
Yeah, they're going to be smelling their own farts for a decade before the money runs out. I mean, they've made tons of money on MCU fans. That's the problem I have, is that they've managed to rip off a fan base, and the fan base is still, simping, oh, it's going to get better. I'm like, no, dude, they're done. It's like they moved on to the next group of freaking kids.
They're parasites and viruses.
And the next group of kids don't like what we like. They like their,
they've been conditioned to like it.
They're Chelsea dolls. So
Chelsea dolls. They've been conditioned to like it.
I mean, as far as Elizabeth goes, from what I can tell, I mean, Doctor Strange 2 is done. It's in post-production, so it's in editing. I mean,
we got a lot of movies that are ready to be released. They just need some of them needs to be released next year.
Yeah, well, hers comes out next year. Like, I mean, she's gonna be reprising Wanda and Scarlet Witch in that film.
Yeah, but I'm not excited about it. I was at first because I was ready to see Doctor Strange again. I'm ready to go into that new world. But every time I hear bits and pieces, I'm losing interest. I thought, well, the Doctor Strange 2 would probably be the last bit of a decent Marvel film to be made. But now, after hearing Kevin Feige's woke garbage, I'm not so sure. I'm that's my thing. I'm just not excited about announcements coming down the pike, and I should be, but I'm not. And I wanted to be excited about it. I would just say, if any of you see it before me, tell me if it's worth my time, because all the things I'm hearing, and they have heroes that are really not my favorite. Ms. Marvel, America Chavez.
I thought we were in agreement that we're not going to watch tokens.
Well, the
Right.
thing is, okay, so the person that more or less is on the writing team, there's 2 more credits, obviously, but like just looking at Jade Haley Bartlett, she only has 1 writing credit, so she's so they're getting her at bottom dollar. I mean, that's how this works. It's like you get someone
At bargain bin.
you scrape them off the bottle, you scrape the scum off the bottom
Let's
of the
just
barrel.
call it for what it is, for bargain bin.
Okay, well, again, you scrape the bottom off the barrel, and then you go past the barrel to get to the dirt underneath, and that's kind of where they're at. I mean,
yeah.
The other writer is like Michael Waldron, and I mean, we're talking what, Rick and Morty, the Loki, D+ series. I mean, none of his credits, whether it be as a producer, really tend to kind of bring me into it.
But that's the thing. They think they're Shakespeare. That's what they think they are.
Well,
They
I don't even think
these-
that.
these-
I mean,
these writers.
you're giving low level idiots too much credit.
Exactly.
In terms of producers, they're buying the cheapest writer they can get, is what it is.
And I would add,
it's not that they think that these dudes are creative. If anything, they know they're not. I mean, obviously, any idiot who can go on IMDb.
Let's
like
call
I
it for what
just
they
did,
is, and
figure it
they're
out.
hiring useful idiots.
Well, they're
Useful
hiring
They're hiring fan fiction writers is what they're doing.
that's it. Yes.
exactly. That's pretty much it. And if you, like I've said before, and if you stream,
What'd you call them, Brian? Hey, hang on, Trooper. What'd you call them?
Fan fiction writers.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's the Insta film where you give them 160 million and then you tell them, "Hey, make me $1 billion film." It's what it is.
They're writing. I agree with both of you, Trooper, and I agree with you, Brian. They're hiring fan fiction writers and they're writing activists. Activists don't know how to create a story. They're just putting in their ideology.
View, yeah.
And that's what they're hiring them to be, because they think that is what we want, or they think what we should have. So that's why they're doing this and shoving it, down our throats. And I think also, with sticking with Marvel MCU, I think they're going to go with the all new, the one in 2016 where Marvel went woke in the comics, all new different Avengers or something, where basically you're going to have a group of superheroes nobody likes, that's not popular. I don't plan to see it, but they think that is, again, what people want to see. I was going to bring this up earlier about, now you have the MCU basically carrying by B and C and D list heroes.
Yeah.
You've got Falcon.
They never really do a good job of having a solid story for them.
Well, they don't need to.
That's the sad part. They don't need to. Because
I mean, that's where
with the
we're
way
at.
how they're doing it. With the way how they're doing it, they don't need
that's where the remaining MCU fandom is. That's pretty much how that's what they're gonna get. Like, we're pretty much checked out. I know other people who are still within our group that are still fully vested in crying poo-poo about it, and it's like, look, it's over. Like, move on. Like, sorry, the fat lady's saying, gosh, how far
I'm trying my best to move on too myself. I said,
me too.
Yeah, like,
not trying. I'm actually
Same.
moving on. I'm already buying my physical media here and there, and just
Well, like I told you. I mean, look at how excited you were to get your copy of Heavy Metal. I mean, I was super excited to get my copy of Cannibal Women.
Look how happy everybody got when I said that.
I'm gonna be happy in a few months to get a Mega Man: The Wily Wars.
Oh yeah,
Physical.
Nice.
I think they think that Disney has become like pushers. They think that we're addicts. Oh, they'll be back. That's what we're. They'll be back when we show them the Eternals. They're going to flood the theaters, and I'm still going to make the same money I did when I did.
Angelina Jolie. Oh my gosh. Okay, really funny story. So I have a box of
box of chocolates.
No, I got a box of like freaking DVDs that I call the box of lost toys because it's shit I'll never watch again. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to curse. So anyway, long story short, somehow Tomb Raider ended up in there, right? And I knew I had a copy of it, so I went looking for it. I found it and I watched it the other day, and I was like, "How was I ever like really like plugged into this film?" And I realized that I really wasn't all about freaking Lara Croft. I was all about freaking watching Angelina Jolie like freaking just strut around with her fake guns. Like I'm like, okay, I mean that makes sense to me now in retrospect. Now that I'm in my, coming into my adulthood and stuff like that, I'm like, I get it. I was never about the story. It was about watching Angelina Jolie prance around. So
Right.
Yep.
with her like fake British accent. So
You're saying it hasn't aged. It hasn't aged well.
it did not age well at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Okay.
Like I watch it now and I'm like, man, like, does she ever close
Dang,
her
hey,
mouth?
she's still here. I didn't even notice.
Like, okay, so
Kidding,
Angelina
kidding.
used to do this thing, and apparently, it's a thing I don't think she does anymore, but she never really used to close her mouth in like when the camera's on her because it makes her lips look fuller, so you kind of see a little teeth. And I'm like, wow, she never really closes her mouth. And that apparently that used to be the
Who we
thing
talking
that
about?
used to be the draw. Angelina
Angelina
Okay.
Jolie.
and her augmented lips.
Mm. And what
So
movie again?
yeah, so
Yeah.
that did not age well because I look at a picture of her now and I'm like, man. And I looked at her, actual age or whatever. And I'm not pulling Ashley Judd here, but Homegirl hit the wall hard, and I thought Ashley Judd hit the wall hard. Wow. So it's like I watched it, and I'm like, man, I miss those days. What happened? And I'm like, oh wait, she had a litter. That's what it was. So,
Mhm.
Yeah, she changed a lot when she started having her very large family. Yeah. When she had the very large family, and for a time being, I will admit some of her movies were pretty good. I knew she had some issues in her mind, but some of her acting performances were actually pretty good compared to now.
Oh yeah, like Bone Collector. That's still one of my favorite films.
Yes.
Right.
That and just kind of turning the volume down on Gia. I'm good with that. So I have Gia. I fully admit.
You poor soul, you.
It was all about smutty Angelina. Now she's not.
I will even admit that. That's the only reason why I saw it as a kid, because her tits was out.
Yeah. So it's like.
I shared a link of young Angelina in the private chat.
Let me see.
Okay.
The one at the bottom. The one at the bottom. Not the one at the top. The one at the bottom.
Let's see.
Hopefully that link will work.
Yeah. See, her mouth is not closed. See, I'm telling you, she never really used to close her mouth. It made her lips look even bigger than they already were. So
they were fuller than they already were. She was famous for her
She
her
definitely
fuller
looked like a
lips.
child in that one.
Yeah. Let's see if I can.
When did she start
Yep.
modeling?
Let's see it.
What age she started modeling?
Was it 12?
She looked like 12.
She was really young, and
Yeah.
She looked like she's 12 in this one.
at that point, her dad, John Voight, was really doing really well in terms of like career wise. So I mean, that kind of was a kind of strain on her life. The whole thing, kids don't, and I kind of didn't either, but kids don't really get that sometimes the dad has to actually go to work as much as they kind of want to stay home with you all the time.
Mhm.
But that's just how things are.
Well, I think that's the
Here's
difference.
another one I shared for her full body. She looks 12. She does look 12.
That was the difference between her upbringing and Brad's upbringing. Brad Pitt was brought up with a traditional family with traditional values and traditional discipline, meaning when you did something wrong, you got a good butt whipping, and you didn't mouth off. But Angelina is trying to give the tradition that you don't discipline the kids, you don't do anything to you. But I love how she punches the shark. That's a
Why?
cool scene.
See, that's what makes me
there
even.
you go, guys.
That's what makes me even more mad. How is it okay for Angelina to punch a shark in the nose, but you can't let Jason Statham drop kick a Meg? Oh
yeah.
wow, she looks like a mummy.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Y'all thought I was
Oh.
joking when I said the
No,
Pennsylvania
no,
Angelina,
no, no. I believed you firmly, but dang it, seeing it is a whole
Holy
different
crap.
story.
Yeah. Y'all
This
can pop
is
that
like
in
milk.
chat.
Yikes, Angie. You need to be a librarian from now on in every movie.
Well, I'm telling you, that's why they like with the freaking
The Mummy
Eternals, like
re-auditions.
with the yeah with the Eternals like trailer. You notice how they give like all those weird face angles, like
Mhm.
same thing with freaking Madonna for a while there. Like she was doing the weird face angles too to kind of like take away from the fact that she hit the wall too. Like
I'm afraid to look up.
Brick wall.
Look, I'm now
She was
afraid to look.
beating with an ugly stick.
Hey, I'm afraid to look up even not Angela Bassett, but Vanessa Williams now, or Tyra,
No,
Vanessa
Vanessa Williams. No, Vanessa Williams.
or
If I remember,
Vivica.
no, I'm all about Vanessa Williams because
Same here.
I have her CDs. So
Yeah, I have some of her records too. And
yeah,
She made music.
yeah, she
yeah.
made music, yes.
Okay.
Save the best for last, and she did that movie Dance with Me, but I
Mhm.
think Vanessa has aged very well. I saw her recently, and she's doing good for herself.
Mhm.
She ain't in
Tyra's,
movies these days, but
well, we know as you
she
get
don't
older.
need to be. She don't
Yeah.
need to be.
Yeah,
She needs to be.
you don't need to be.
She needs to be a producer at best. A producer.
Yeah, I
Last
mean,
time I heard, she was on Broadway in London.
oh,
She was
there you
on
go.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yep, she was on Broadway in London. I forgot the name of the show, but she was on Broadway in London. So she has another medium to go into, which is the stage. So that's good, for her.
Vivica look like an aging Tony Braxton.
Yeah, Vivica. Oh, I didn't think Vivica would actually drop this low. I didn't think so for Vivica.
What'll she do this time?
Even her, no, it's just the roles just really started getting really bad. I don't know if that's just
Yikes! Tyra looks like my ex-girlfriend. Damn, that's bad. That's really bad.
Did Tyra hit the wall yet? No, she
Maybe
hasn't.
that's not a compliment.
No, I'm just saying I don't want to be reminded of my ex-girlfriend. She's cute, but yeah. So that's a black spot in my early days. I try my best not to relive.
Oh yeah, hear that?
Not saying she tried to tear chunks out of my body or anything. Just it's more.
But she tried to tear chunks out of your body.
No. What I'm saying is it's more of what I did on the side, not on the side, but on the end of the story. And I'm glad, I'm thankful that I actually got over that finally, and met my wife.
Oh goodness. And now
Let's
you
just-
eat adobo every Friday.
That's fine. I can live with that.
No,
Let's
adobo's
just-
good, bro. Like,
let's just
if I
say
want
I
that kind of stuff.
look.
Like, I gotta go
Let's just
find
say
it.
I did
Like,
what Leon couldn't do from
Oh.
Resident Evil.
Mm-hmm. He
I
couldn't continue the
I
Red
don't
Pill
want it.
bloodline.
don't want to know.
Not that he couldn't stop. Which
I
is
wasn't even going there. I
let
wasn't even
Ada
going-
let Ada go.
I mean, we got we got Jollibee here in Vegas. So I mean, if I really want hot dog spaghetti, I gotta go find it. Like
You guys got another round in you, or do you think we should start wrapping it up?
You guys going, but I'm gonna have to start wrapping it up myself. But
Yeah.
if you guys want to keep going on, but I have got to.
I think it's a good time for us all to wrap it up. I mean,
okay, cool. Yeah.
I think I just pretty much did a highlight of the show already.
I think you did.
I don't know. I mean, you went on a rant and suddenly there's only like 2 people. Like,
Call it a rant. That was a rampage, dude.
Bruh, that was the epic of epic rants that I do have when I usually rant on this stream.
yeah.
And y'all know I'm famously known for my
Hey,
rants.
Yes.
Night, Melissa. I'm famously known for my rants, and this was like the biggest rant I ever went on.
Mm-mm.
Well, you're not alone. I've heard
Oh,
other
right.
rants. I've heard many other rants besides you. So
Mhm,
you're not alone. If anyone says you,
Oh yeah.
I've heard plenty other
I'm
rants.
sure. I'm sure.
So I'd like to thank everybody for being here and listening to us prowl on and prowl on. I know we go off topic a few times here and there. It was not really my intention to really veer off to the usual shindig that we talk about on other topics, but we do tend to come back to it, and that's only because we really truth be told, guys, a lot of this stuff has happened because too many people have apologized too much.
Yep.
All bottom line is the stuff that we're seeing so far now is the psychological conditioning that we've been seeing coming from the left, employing upon those who have tact, sensibilities, convictions, morality, and all that stuff. They play upon your sensitive side. They play on your gentler side, even the side that's willing to look at it both ways, or look at it from the other side perspective. They try to gaslight you. Basically, too much gaslighting has happened in this industry, in any other industries. Lots of gaslighting. You know what I'm saying? You hear
Yes.
people just saying, you think I'm this, you think I'm that. That's a lot of gaslighting that the other side has been doing to other people, and they cave in when they hear that. And
Yeah.
that's
Yep.
basically why people has been apologizing for so many times, especially to those who who they don't even know, to those who they'll never meet. By the way, they'll never meet. I mean, we see it happen in just to give a quick overview of what I wish I had brought up a bit more during the stream. Was we saw it with the ones with the cosplay. We seen it with the artists, the artist side of things. The art community has took a big hit with the gaslighting, the pressure and the bullying for
Mhm.
daring to draw a character differently than what these wackos think in their minds, right?
Mm.
We've had some of that happen, and I'm not liking that either. Um, Same thing in the gaming community. The same thing with the gaming community. You've hear stories, which I'm willing to believe, because I've seen it. I've seen many people bring it up. Now, whether they embellish it or not, that's a whole different story. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole nother can of worms to open up on that front. But I'm willing to believe it because we've experienced this in our lifetime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Bullying.
Oh yes.
It all
Mhm.
comes down to
Oh, yeah.
bullying.
Oh yes.
I'm just saying, it really comes down to the big word, bullying. Considering that this has come from people who are, we're anti-bullying, we're anti-racist, we're anti-Semitic. Oh, let that slip. We love the Jews. Okay, we love the Jews.
That's you, man. That's you.
No. But bottom line is,
I stay neutral.
I'm standing in solidarity.
Right.
Yeah, right. Anyways, so with that being said, again, I'd like to thank everybody for being here. And you need to pick your afro daddy because it's flat on one side. You need to pick your afro daddy because it's flat on one side. What are you waiting for? Well, if you don't pick your afro, you're gonna have one side. And thank you everybody for being here. I'd like to thank the lovely Leia Valor, Leia Plus Size.
Thank you, everyone, for showing up for this stream. For those of you that remained, I hope you enjoyed what we talked about and you took something with you. We are always willing to hear comments and concerns from you. Don't be afraid to express anything you want. We're open to hearing them. And I had a good time this evening, as always. So I hope you all return for the next stream that we have.
Have with us again for a second time and hopefully for a permanent stay, the Maverick Hunter Saint, Brian Gil Martin. Thanks again for your contribution, sir.
Hey, anytime. And hope you guys had a lot of fun. I try to keep things a little interesting and keep things on the lighter side because these are very heavy topics, and we can use a little more laughter in our life. So, good night to everybody.
Here he is again from Occupy Imperial Balmora, the Trooper FN 2525.
Hey guys, it was super fantastic. Thanks to everyone in the chat. Definitely thanks to Wolf for hosting us again on this lovely Thursday evening. And thanks to Leia Plus Size for hanging out with me and putting up with me. And thanks to Brian Gilmartin for, of course, putting up with me hogging the mic. But you know what? If you're in chat and you're listening to this on the replay, I think the best takeaway from all of us that we've tried to impart today is that
it is not our job to
No.
satisfy you.
that's right. In terms of
That's right.
yeah, in terms of not apologizing, don't apologize. It's good to have an opinion, but make sure it's yours and make sure it's not planted in there by somebody else. So if you have an opinion, know why you have it and definitely know how to defend that opinion, because it's going to come down to being able to, again, persuade the third person in the room, not the person you're having a dialogue with. So there you go. That's a good way to end. So again, you know what? Hit like, subscribe, share, and definitely toss in some comments in the comments to help the algorithm out. So Trooper FN 2525 signing off. And hey, hi Schooner. Did you look behind you while you were driving?
Oh, God.
That being said, for those who are not, here's the thing: for those who are not sure if they can be able to stand up for themselves, to be able to defend themselves against this kind of mob, the only thing I can really say is when it happens, it's going to happen whether you see it or not. It's going to happen whether you're confrontational or not. So my advice to you, even though I really can't really train you on this, but the best thing I can really say for you guys is plant your feet firmly, and make sure you have a good. Here's another thing: make sure you have a good, firm relationship with your family members or with your friends, those you can trust, that you can go to talk about your issues, to talk about those that wronged you. Even though you've done nothing wrong, the ones that are willing to stone you, to crucify you, make sure you have a firm relationship, a firm support system too behind you. It don't necessarily have to be an army of people that's your family. It can be just that one person that you have looked up to, mostly because that person in your life was able to defend you and stand their ground for you. If anything, you can find somebody to stand up for you too as well. But that will build up your confidence to stand next to them when the time comes. Definitely. So that's the best thing I can really say to you guys, is really to really plant your feet firmly when that happens. Well, at least practice planting your feet firmly. Like get read up, read every day as much as you can, or at least read as much as you can to really be eloquent and articulate to your points and what have you. To really look up to people who you respect the most, that have always been consistent in their lives and never been to change on their viewpoints and their convictions on a whim, where they have firmly stand by on what they said, but willing to even be open to seeing new things from a different perspective as well, but at the same time still maintain their being while doing it. And that's a difficult thing to master as well, to be able to accept certain changes but still remain on your convictions. Just like take Leia, for example. She is a devout Christian, but she's willing to see things in a new light, but still continue her Christianity. She's not gonna subjugate her Christianity. She's not gonna abandon her Christianity. She's sticking to her Christianity, regardless of how she views the world or how she's willing to see the world in a new light. Same thing with Trooper. Trooper is willing to well, I can't really speak for Trooper, but I'm going to assume. So there I go. So you guys can quote me on my assumptions. I assume he's willing to be also open to change as well, but he still stays the same an asshole. Let's for like a better term, he's gonna stay an asshole. Or Brian Gil Martin. Don't know where your neck of woods come from, but you're a man's man. So I'm going to assume that you're a man's man. So you're a man's man, but you're willing to see women for a different light. You want to see women to achieve certain things that they achieve on their own, but you're still a man, and you'll think man, and you'll be a man's man. So there you go. So and to those who are being called a gatekeeper or whatever. If you guys don't have a comeback for that one, if somebody shouts gatekeeper at you, or if somebody calls you a gatekeeper, I have a comeback that you can use. And boy, I'm full of comebacks. But this is one comeback I will use if somebody called me a gatekeeper. Oh yeah, I'm a gatekeeper, right? So why are you still knocking at my door? Now turn around and walk away before I get my shotgun full of rock salt.
Okay. If that doesn't stick with you, I don't know what else does.
Yeah, but you don't have to add the shotgun part. Just ask. Just use that question on them. Like they say you're a gatekeeper. I was like, oh, I'm a gatekeeper, huh? Then why are you still knocking at my door? So there are moments where you have to own some name calling that they give you, because the more you own it, the less the word commands power, if you will. So don't be afraid to be a gatekeeper, or at least don't be afraid to be called a gatekeeper. Just throw that line their way, basically, and see their reaction. And if they still it's just if they're still knocking at your door, well, I guess you now you know who's triggered. But again, you guys take care. Everybody stay safe and be safe, and of course keep continuing to be the new change, or at least be the creator. Continue being creators. Read up. Control your life, basically. Control your own life. Take your own destiny. Don't let nobody run your own stuff. So welcome to I'm messing up the line. Here we go. You are the UN Spacey. Welcome to the Wolf Fleet.